Like this. Hit it.
The Roger Report live morning show, weekdays at 9 a.m.
Say y'all, I was on Roger's panel a few times and I couldn't take it. The heat. I got out the kitchen. It was hot. I was sweating. I had to get out.
He's Roger, and he's right.
Check this out.
Agreement by which we can live or die. You choose. I have spoken to you a lot of times in hatred and anger, and you have not heard me. Well, you had better hear me today. If you won't listen to me when I make an appeal for the Negroes because you have no concern for the Negroes, listen to me when I make an appeal for America. You claim you love America. Well, we love America. But you are driving us back and you are making a Samson out of us, and we are going to pull down the pillars. And then you think we have no right to ask for something? Is it too much to ask you to grant us human dignity? Should we be put down and shot to death for this request? If so, you can aim your gun. What the hell do you think we care about dying if you're going to deny us the right to live?
Good morning, folks, and welcome to another edition of the Roger Report Live, the best show on social media. If you are new to the channel, go ahead and take a moment out to hit that like button, because this is where you're going to find the best content on social media, and you don't have to worry about it because you're going to have me right here to make sure that happens. And if you've already been coming to the channel for a while, then go ahead and hit that like button, because you already know what time it is. And you know that this is where you're going to get the best content on social media. It's not a mystery to you at this point. You've seen other people do it. You've seen other people do it well. But what you have not seen is anyone do it quite the way I do it. So make sure you hit that like button. And everyone, yes, everyone, take a moment out to share the content, y'all. There are so many people who need to get great content like this. And it's just a small thing you can do to help the world be a better place. And isn't that what we want at the end of the day? Don't we want the world to be a better place? Of course we do. So share the content out. Share it through your social media. Share it through word of mouth, or even text on one's phone. But do what you got to do to help spread the word. All right, folks. Today, first show of the new year. Welcome to 2026 at the Roger Report Live. Y'all, we honor a lot of folks here at the Roger Report Live. We honor people over here, and we're going to do some more honoring, y'all. We're going to do some more honoring. There are great people amongst us, and we're about to give out the most prestigious award. Okay, if you ask me, the most prestigious award that you can get as a black man in America, yeah, the biggest one. This the biggest one, y'all. Why? Because there's only one person gonna get it, man. Only one person gonna get it. Just one. And you got to do a whole lot to get this. You got to be a ruthless, nice guy, number one. Okay? That's where the nominees come from. If y'all don't know it, you got to become a ruthless, nice guy, number one. You got to win that award. And this is the award amongst the men who have won the awards. Now, I will say this, y'all. Unfortunately, because we've lost some channels, I had to scramble real quick, to get everybody I remembered, super fast. If I left somebody out, they'll have a chance next year, But as I've said plenty of times, y'all, life ain't fair. That's just the unfortunate part of reality. Life is not fair. But I did make an effort to make sure that we had all our nominees, available so y'all can make a decision on, okay? And we gonna pick the next living legend over here at the Roger Report Live. But before we get into this, y'all, let me first say shout out to everybody who give me views on a regular basis. I appreciate it big time. Of course, without y'all, the channel ain't going nowhere. So shout out to all the people who give me views on a regular basis. Shout out to all the people who leave comments after the stream. It helps with the algorithm. I do try to make sure I get to the comments that are done after the streams. Appreciate y'all big time. Okay. Shout out to all the people who hit the like button. Y'all know that's a big deal. I encourage you to do it no matter when you see the stream. Doesn't make a difference how long the stream has been up. Just hit the like button anyway. Shout out to all the people who hype me up every chance they get. And you got to do it every time. Don't just do it some of the time. Do it all the time. All this helps grow the channel. And as long as the channel grows, it goes out to new people. And we help make the world a better place. And that's what we're here for. So shout out to all y'all. And shout out to everyone who goes above and beyond and becomes a financial contributor at the Roger Report Live, because you allow me to do things that I would not be able to do without you. And I appreciate you big time. Shout out to each and every one of y'all. And shout out to the sponsor of today's stream, Deion King. Appreciate you, y'all. Over here at the Roger Report Live, all the money on the wood is good. And that's just real talk, y'all. All the money on the wood is good. Okay? So appreciate you, Deion King, the sponsor of today's stream. All right. And shout out to some of the first people to check in this morning. It's always great when you start a show that you got people checking in. And it's always, unfortunately for others at the time, there could only be one. But you got to make sure you get yours in, because this is something you should do multiple times, where you should become the Highlander of today's stream. And shout out to the one and only, my main man, Chef Mike's Roundtable, who happens to one more time become Highlander of today's stream. Shout out to you, Chef. Glad you're here, my brother. Glad you're here. Thank you for all you do over here. That is the Pitmaster. So shout out to the Pitmaster and the Pit crew. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to the Great Black Reset. What's going on, my brother? What's going on? Glad to have you in the building. We got Bruce on Wayne in the house. Great to see you. Gold P is here. Shout out to you, my brother. Trail Billy, representing as he always does. Hashtag Lonely the Habitual Line Steppers. Hashtag Negroes in the Wilderness. Hashtag Dignity over Vagina. Hashtag Al Gore's Babies. My personal favorite. Hashtag Hell Hydra. Shout out to you, my brother. Great to see you. Shout out to the righteous teacher who's pulled up a seat at the cool table. Glad to have you, brother. Okay. Shout out to Floyd Thompson. Yay. Good to have you in the building. We got, I wonder what your name was beforehand. I don't remember what it is because I remember the picture, but I got to go with AJJ1328. Good to have you here. Shout out to the appliance repair man. Good to have you, bro. Shout out to all my hoes, the monetizers in the building. Great to see you. Superstar Jay Quick, what's up, my brother? What's up? Glad to have you here. Bucket is in the building. Good to have you, y'all. And we gonna get into this, y'all. Now, the nominees, I did put in the description the nominees, y'all. Some of the men we have honored on this channel, okay? Because it's only going to be one a year, y'all. Now, the Lifetime Achievement, that's the Rufus Nice Guy, okay? You get your Lifetime Achievement with the Rufus Nice Guy. But there can only be one, y'all. At least one a year where you are taken up to the status of a living legend, y'all. Because, number one, Black men, the greatest men in this country. Okay, the greatest men in this country. We got to honor our own. Okay, we must honor our own. We can't depend on everybody else to do it. We can't depend on everybody else to do it. And even though, I had to start thinking in a rush, who were some of the people that we have honored as the Rufus Nice Guy that should be up for this award? Now, I'm going to say very prestigious award is you just look at the people who won it in the past. Very, very prestigious award. Okay. Past winners. Jesus of Nazareth, y'all. Jesus of Nazareth. Okay. Yes. Yes. I do believe Jesus himself, an actual living person who's been documented in history. Okay. Our literal time was separated by Jesus. That's why they're trying to change stuff now. BC, before Christ, AD, after death or after something else they said. I forgot exactly what they said. But he was a person who separated time himself. It was before his time and after he arrived. Simple as that, y'all. That's how much of a legend Jesus is. And I'm saying Jesus of Nazareth just to remind folks, this wasn't no white guy. Okay, this was not a white guy. Okay. Shout out to the one, the only Michael Jordan is a winner himself. Okay, so you talking about good company, y'all. We talking about being in the company of Jesus Nazareth and Michael Jordan. Shout out to Robert Smith. Okay, past winner. The legend Bill Cosby. Okay, and the latest guy before today, our main man, Deion Sanders, y'all. So this is rare air, y'all. This is some rare air when you think about these people, okay? And I was thinking about who have we honored so far, y'all, that is not a living legend. And this list will grow bigger every year, y'all. The list gonna grow bigger every year. So I was thinking about who have we honored, and unfortunately, I don't have all my shows. So I hope I got at least most of the guys in. But if I left somebody off, of course, it'll come to me and they'll get their shot later. All right. Now, I want to hear y'all opinions on things too, y'all. We want to hear y'all opinions on things too. So, who do we have? We got Eddie Murphy, y'all, the comedy legend. We got Chris Brown, musical icon. We got Keith Lee, social media phenomena. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, a guy that was just unstoppable, even though everybody knew what he was basically going to do, and yet they couldn't stop him. We got maybe one of the smoothest brothers, and Dr. J, okay? And we have Arsenio Hall, our last Rufus Nice Guy, that has opened so many doors for so many people, not just himself, y'all. These are nominees of who will be the living legend, okay? And of course, anybody is allowed to come up and speak on this particular one. Who do you root for, okay? Okay. Shout out to the Great Black Reset. He said the AD was Anno Domini. That sounds familiar to me. I forget what it means, though. It does sound familiar to me. I forget what that means. Okay. But I know it wasn't after death. I know a lot of people think it was about after death, but it wasn't. It doesn't mean after death. I do remember that part. Okay. Now, again, y'all, this is the greatest award you can get because you got to become someone who's honored as a lifetime achiever. Then you got to go amongst other lifetime achievers to actually get this award. So it is the greatest award you can get. The greatest award you can get. All right. Shout out to the Great Black Reset. He said, I don't see LeBron James. Well, I don't remember LeBron James winning no Rufus Nice Guy. I don't remember LeBron James coming up as a as a Rufus Nice Guy. But I will say this: since you now around, you can always vie for him to get that. You able to influence something a little bit. So when the next Rufus Nice Guy come up, you put your Put a good word in for your boy. That's all I can tell you. You got to put a good word in for your boy, okay? But so far, he ain't made that list yet. So, and see, the living legend, y'all see how exclusive the living legend is, that you could even drop a name like LeBron James, who we can't even attempt to make him a living legend yet, because he ain't even got a Ruthless Nice Guy yet. You got to get the Ruthless Nice Guy, y'all. That's the way it works now. Okay, you got to get the Ruthless Nice Guy first. Then you can get him amongst former winners of the Ruthless Nice Guy to become, hopefully, a living legend. So the greatest award you can get, and you got to get it while you alive. Yeah, so that's what makes it tough, y'all. It makes it tough. And there's a lot of other great black men out there who will get their chance. And there's a lot of great black men who will get their chance. But the ones I remember so far that we've honored again, y'all, we got Eddie Murphy, we got Chris Brown, we got Keith Lee, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, we got Julius, Dr. J. Irving, and Arsenio Hall. Okay? We even got two buddies on the list. When you think about it, Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall, two definite buddies on this list. Okay? So, I'm going to say this, y'all. It is fine for you to come up and vie for anybody you want to, or you could do it in the chat. I'm going to try to make sure I'm paying attention to the chat to see who y'all really like, who y'all really, really, really like. Okay? But what we will not be doing, we are not going to cannibalize the candidates, y'all. We're not going to put people down to make somebody else shine. We ain't going to do that. No, we can talk about these brothers' greatness without putting the other brother down. And you just say why you think somebody should win that Living Legend Award, y'all. We only giving out one a year. Okay? Only one a year. So, yeah, sure. Express why you believe someone should get the Living Legend Award, but don't be putting nobody down to try to make that other brother shine. We not going to do that over here, y'all. We not going to do that over here. Now, I haven't even personally picked a favorite myself, because all these guys have done some great things. All these guys have done some great things. Okay? All these guys have made big impressions. They have made a big input, a big impact on, at least American culture and influence, as if American culture and influence don't go across the world. They've all made their mark. Okay? They've all made their mark. So it's not like we need to put anybody down. All right? Now I'm going to say, which one of these had impact first in my life? Now that's interesting. I think about it. Who did I recognize first? Possibly Eddie Murphy. That's why I say possibly Eddie Murphy. When I was a little kid, who was the first person I knew about as far as this is concerned? I think possibly it was Eddie Murphy. Okay? It took me some years to really kind of know about Dr. J, because I never saw Dr. J play live. I don't remember Dr. J ever, playing. Maybe if I was a really, 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 really small child, but I never remember Dr. J playing. Definitely a smooth brother. But can't say I remember him actually playing the game. Okay, so yeah, I know about his greatness through interviews and things that he's done, interviews other people have done, where they talked about him. Of course, I've seen some footage, the famous footage, some of the not so famous footage. Okay, so now Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, I remember him a little bit. I do remember a little bit. Okay, now I'm not saying I remember enough to truly understand how great he was at that particular time. A lot of that has been learned information over time. Okay, but I do remember the captain, as they say, get down on that basketball court. All right, and let's keep it real. His impact to the game has been phenomenal. He still has a move that people literally could not stop. I've seen people in there talking about why hasn't anybody else developed that particular move since it was such an unstoppable move. Hey, maybe other people just ain't got it in them. That's to me, the fact that other people haven't adopted the move kind of says a little bit more about how great that particular move. And I'm talking about the skyhook. If anybody out there don't know what I'm talking about, it's that skyhook. How do you beat the skyhook? No one really figured that out. Okay, it's you got your body in front of a person while they trying to get to a ball. Man, that's hard to do. That's hard to do. And truth be told, even if somebody hits you, you can take a little bit of impact and still get that ball off well. Okay, if you can, learn to, which most NBA players should be able to do. If you can learn to shoot a good little floater, I would think the skyhook would be right there. But there is a reason that other people ain't really using it. Okay? There's a reason other people ain't really using it. So I'm going to say that shows a little bit of his particular greatness. The fact that other people ain't using it. All right? Just is what it is. And you feel about it how you want to feel about it. But I think that shows a lot of his particular greatness. All right. Shout out to Why Skinner Man Cave. I don't know why Skinner Man. Are you being a hater down there, brother? Are you being a hater down there? He said Magic Johnson should come before Michael Jordan. Hey, brother, I ain't make the rules, but I did make the rules. Now, you know what? I got to think about it. I do believe we did honor. Now, did we actually give Magic Johnson a Rufus Knight? Becoming before Michael Jordan? I don't know what you mean, brother. That's all I'm going to say. Because, at that particular point, yeah, it wasn't no voting involved. It was Michael Jordan right after Jesus of Nazareth. So, technically, yeah, I did write the rules on that one. But to say Magic Johnson should come first, I hear you. I don't know about that, though. Now, I got to think in my mind, did we actually give Magic Johnson a Rufus Nice Guy? Did we honor him? And I try to remember even some people that we honored even before I start, hitting them as the Rufus Nice Guy. As a matter of fact, I believe we did. No, you know what? I'm not 100% sure. I'm not 100% sure, y'all. But I just remember somebody else who we definitely honored, who should be on that list. Denzel Washington. Y'all, we did honor Denzel Washington as a Rufus Nice Guy. So he is now an active nominee. Okay. Great actor. Okay. Now, Denzel Washington, a lot of great influence. Okay. Definitely has left his mark when it comes to, major motion pictures. Sad thing is, Denzel is retiring soon. I don't know exactly when, but, I heard a while ago that Denzel was doing his last 10 movies. I don't know where he's at with the last 10 movies, but he ain't going to be around that much longer. But shout out to Denzel Washington. And I remember folks going crazy over Denzel. I even remember as a young man, I went to go look at a magazine and see exactly who Denzel Washington was. Y'all want to know why I did that? Because the women was so hype about this guy named Denzel Washington. I was like, who is this guy? And what does he look like that all these ladies is clamoring about this one particular guy? Okay? I remember doing that. It probably was an Ebony magazine that I saw to see who Denzel Washington was. Because the man definitely had some impact. Okay. I'm really trying to think in my mind, did we give one to Magic Johnson? Because we've definitely talked about Magic Johnson before. Okay. I'm not saying he shouldn't be on the list. And if we didn't really honor him, I'm pretty sure he'll come up somewhat soon to maybe get his Rufus Nice. Because it's an exclusive award, y'all. It's an exclusive award. Everybody ain't gonna get honored. Now, there's a lot of great black men. They'll get their chance. They just gotta earn it. And like I said, it's the award you gotta get before while you're alive. Now, I'm gonna say shout out to all the people who I've put, and I guess technically it's something like a wall of fame, pretty much, because we honored the people of our past. we do that with the grand finale. And there's a lot of great guys that are honored when it comes to the grand finale. A lot of great guys. We honored Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And these are people who some of these people may have became living legends had the Roger Report Live existed at that time. So shout out to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. We've honored Malcolm X. We've also honored Michael Jackson. We've honored the one and only James Brown. I know we honored Prince. We've honored the 54th Massachusetts Volunteer Army. Shout out to Joe Jackson. We've honored James Jordan. And of course, the great one and only Kobe Bryant. Okay, we've honored these folks, but you got to be alive to get that living legend. All right. Not saying that any of them guys wouldn't have earned it because they have been great folks. They've been great folks. But the living legend, you got to get it while you're alive. And, life ain't fair. So unfortunately, if you don't get the right time, you don't get the living legend award because you got to be alive when the Roger Report came into existence. You had to be alive during that time. So it is what it is. Okay. But, y'all can throw, I'll make sure that in the future that we try to, collect some names that people want to throw out there who y'all believe should win a Ruthless Nice Guy. Because you will not become a living legend unless you get a Ruthless Nice Guy. Okay. So I'll try to make sure in the future I collect some names from the audience of people who y'all want honored as a Ruthless Nice Guy. But again, until you win that, you will not become a living legend. It's not even open to become a legend. It's not even a discussion, which makes it such a very exclusive award. To me, the greatest award black men can win, period. Really, the greatest award any man can win. But unfortunately, life ain't fair and everybody don't get to be black. It is what it is. But I'm going to let some of my guests speak, y'all. And please keep in mind for anybody who's going to come up, what we not going to do, especially on a day like today, we not going to diss people, y'all. We not going to diss people. If you want to chime in about why somebody should become the living legend, no, you have to express their positive. We're not going to diss anybody or talk down on any of the award winners because all these guys have become Ruthless Nice Guys. Okay, we're not dissing anybody. We're going to talk about why I think this person should probably win. Okay? Well,
Roger,
Black
can you
Bull is
hear
here,
me?
so he's going to go first because he has elder privilege. Then I'll come back to Tunnel Runner. And we
Can
got
you hear me,
Demolition
Roger?
Man here. And it
Can
looks
you
like
hear
we
me,
got
Roger?
A.L. Evans back in the building.
Can,
Good to see you,
can,
brother. Good to see you.
can you hear me? Can you hear me, Roger?
Yeah, I can't hear you, brother. I can't hear you.
Okay, let Black Guru have it.
Okay. Blackaroo, you have the floor, my brother. How you doing?
Hey, how are you, Roger? I, I have a slight, like, how is Stevie Wonder not anywhere in the offering here? I mean, probably the
Uh-oh.
greatest living songwriter, so I'm kind of, the order here is a little bit off for me. I mean, amongst the people you have listed here, I, I think for a number of reasons, the only uh, fair pick would be Kareem, given his, a lifetime accomplishment that goes all the way back to the 60s. I mean, there's debate about who the GOAT is. I mean, maybe some of us might favor Michael Jordan, some of us might favor LeBron. There's a lot of debates, but I mean, certainly Kareem has had the most illustrious basketball career of anyone, of anyone who's ever played basketball. Period. I mean, again, going all the way back to high school. So, I mean, to me, Kareem is kind of the obvious choice. I, I think someone's uh, thing is playing in the background. I don't know. Um, but yeah, Kareem to me, at least amongst those, and I'm an admirer of all those men. I think Dr. J is one of the 5 most important basketball players ever, because he represents, I would say Dr. J is the father of modern basketball, of what we appreciate about basketball stylistically, in terms of, I mean, like I said, you can say maybe Jordan is the greatest player. Maybe you can say Kareem had the greatest basketball career. But I would say stylistically, no one is more influential over modern basketball than Julius Winfield Irving. And you might have to be a certain age to really know what that means, because when all of your favorite basketball players, favorite basketball player or favorite basketball player is Dr. J. Magic's favorite basketball player was Dr. J. So everybody was kind of influenced stylistically. Even if they didn't necessarily play forward, even if they didn't necessarily, everybody wanted in some way to be Dr. J, or they wanted to be somebody who wanted to be Dr. J. They wanted to be Dr. J, or they wanted to be Michael, who wanted to be Dr. J. They wanted to be Isaiah Thomas, who wanted to be Dr. J. He wanted to be Michael Jordan, who wanted to be Dr. J. They wanted to be Dominique Wilkins, who wanted to be Dr. J. So it's, stylistically, it's Dr. J is a very important figure in basketball and sports in general, stylistically. But I would say on your list there, you got to go with Kareem. You got to go with Kareem because of the duration of time that he's been great, and his accomplishments, like I say, are unique in the sports. And the man has written dozens of books about Black history and sports. Man even wrote a book about basketball on the Indian reservation, if I recall correctly. So Kareem is a very, very enduring cultural figure for Black people and for Americans overall. So I would definitely have to pick, on the list you have there, I would have to pick Dr. J. But at some point, we got to include Stevie Wonder in this process, because he's probably the greatest living songwriter. But that's my spiel.
You there, Roger? If you're saying anything, we can't hear you.
Oh, my bad. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I'm gonna say shout out to Blackaroo for that great opening statement, because I believe that was a great opening statement. That what you have said would definitely be taken into consideration. And shout out to Gyogami. I'm laughing at Chef. Shout out to Gyogami. He said, "Is Michael Jackson not a part of the nominees?" We did honor Michael Jackson. He's on basically the Wall of Fame. Unfortunately, Michael Jackson has already passed away. But we did honor him in the grand finale. All right, the grand finale is for the people who've already passed away. And of course, if you passed away, you can't get the Living Legend Award. You got to be able to do this while you're alive. And I will say this, y'all. Go ahead, Blacko.
We honored Joe as well.
We absolutely did. We showed up did.
Michael.
Yeah, Michael and Joe, basically Wall of Fame folks. They have been honored in grand finales. Both of them have great guys. Now, what I will say too, to help everyone else be able to have influence on this thing as it has developed, because this is something that has developed as I became a content creator. I'm gonna say this, y'all. If you want someone nominated to win the Roof is Nice guy, because the Living Legend is only going to someone who's already won a Roof is Nice guy. What y'all can do in the comments section, you can put Roof is Nice guy nominee, and then throw a name in there, and we'll consider them. Okay, we'll consider them. There will only be a few per year that's going to be added. So you nominate whoever you want to. I'll start, putting the list together, or you talk to somebody who comes on the panel on a regular basis. So hopefully they'll say a name for you. So I'll allow y'all to really say who y'all believe people, but you gotta nominate them for a Ruthless Nice Guy. Until they win that Ruthless Nice Guy award, the Living Legend award is off limits. So it's a very, very extremely exclusive.
I got a nominee for you.
Wait, we ain't got to do that right now.
No, I'm gonna put it out there. I nominate PTS for Ruthless Nice Guy.
Well, we will take that
right
in consideration. We will take that in consideration. Real talk. Okay. And shout out to Gilgamy one more again. He said, I missed the living part. Take the money still. Hey, I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you, brother. And because I believe being a living legend is going to, I mean, as the world understands what the Roger Report Live is, they're going to understand this is the award of awards because it's only given to one person per year. One person. You got a lifetime to make your impact. The quicker you do it, more power to you. But you got a lifetime to make an impact. Once we see it, you can get that Ruthless Nice Guy and then get you a shot at the Living Legend Award. Because you never know how tough the competition is going to be. And I think Black Rule gave a great spiel when it comes to, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar truly being considered to get this next one. Now, I'm going to give it...
Roger, can I put Black Rule for Ruthless Nice Guy?
I will take that in consideration. I will take, I will make a list, y'all. And I'm going to say anybody else that y'all want to nominate for a Ruthless Nice Guy. Anyone else. Put in the chat, y'all can, on any day y'all want to, y'all can make a comment, because I do try to look at all the comments, okay? And I try to get them, within the first 2 to 3 days, for sure. I look at the comments. Y'all can put Ruthless Nice Guy nominee and whoever y'all believe is a good nominee, and we will consider those people in the future. We will consider those people in the future, okay? I will literally make a list, all right? So don't be mad at me.
Campaign manager for the Black Guru.
All right. Well, I'm just saying, don't be mad if your person don't be the next Ruthless Nice Guy. Whoever, it's gonna be between whoever's getting these lists together and whoever we pick is who gonna get that award. So but if you want to nominate somebody, the show is available. Throw it in the comment section on any particular show. It doesn't make a difference which one it is. Just put Ruthless Nice Guy nominee and then give the name of the person you want nominated. Okay? But now, if y'all remember somebody that's not on the list that we actually gave a Ruthless Nice Guy to, sure, y'all can bring them up. Because like I said, I didn't put Denzel Washington on the list, but he did actually get a Ruthless Nice Guy award. So we got to, make sure Denzel is in the fray as well. But turn around and go ahead with your opening statement, my brother. Go ahead with your opening statement.
Well, I was going to say Jamie Foxx.
Okay, we can put him as a nominee. We'll put him as a nominee. You got to already have won the Ruthless Nice Guy to become a living legend. That's the thing. You got to already be one. Jamie Foxx is a great guy too. I've been thinking about him myself, but that's a great guy that definitely needs to. We'll see if he get on this list. I ain't gonna say soon because it depends on how many people nominate and who I think the best folks are.
And my last one, Michael B. Jordan.
All right, appreciate that, brother. Appreciate that. Okay, I'll try to start a list now. Okay, but y'all, this ain't gonna be a show about just nominating people. We're gonna make a selection who gonna get the 2026 Living Legend. Okay, but I will take all this into consideration, y'all. Real talk. Okay, I'm taking this into consideration and I'm making a list right now, just so y'all know. Okay. Anything else turn around on that before I give it to the Great Black Reset?
No, give it to the Black Reset.
All right, Great Black Reset. Oh, wait a minute. He coming in as Demolition Man. My bad. Demolition Man.
I meant to change it back.
No, it's all good, brother. His mama called him Clay. I'm gonna call him Clay.
I think Total gotta mute up. That's where the echo is coming from.
Okay, well, let me mute up too.
Okay, so I second the nomination for um, Julius Irving, because without him we don't get MJ. Without MJ we don't get Kobe. I mean, that's 3 generations of greatness because of that man. So I do second that. I think Magic Johnson, bro. Like Magic Johnson, bro, is like one of the greatest players we ever seen. And this man also in business has been a killer. And third, for reasons that y'all don't expect, LeBron James. Statistically, not only is he a great basketball player, but this man made a team draft his goddess son, or he was going to quit. Bro, that's ruthless. He had a TV show to tell the city of Cleveland, I'm going to Miami. That's ruthless. This man is holding the Lakers hostage. He is the unofficial GM. Made them make the moves he wanted, when he wanted, and he's still on the team. Nah, man. That's my ruthless lifestyle. But on the list you got today, I like Eddie Murphy. That man is one of the greatest actors, one of the greatest comedians, and quietly one of the greatest singers we've ever had. This man's fantastic. He's impeccable at everything he does. And he's definitely done some ruthless things in his private life. And I'll land my plane right there.
All right. Chef thinks it's me, so I am gonna reset my phone like he suggested, y'all. I'm gonna still be able to hear. I'm gonna be on another device, so I give it to AL for your opening statement to say what you want to say, and I got a list started, y'all. So, and again, in the future, if y'all want somebody nominated for Rufus Nice Guy, you just put it a comment. The Rufus Nice Guy nominee and give the name of somebody you think should be honored. And don't be all upset if your guy don't get it right away, y'all. It's going to be a lot of nominees out there. Only so many people going to get it per year. And only one person going to get the living legend every year. And we're going to do this regularly on January 2nd, y'all. That's what the plan is. We're going to do this regularly on January 2nd. We will give one of the Rufus Nice Guy. They will become at a whole different level. And they'll become a living legend with Jesus of Nazareth, and I'm saying it like that to remind folks that he was black. Okay, if you know about white Jesus, we ain't talking about him. Okay, I'm talking about Jesus of Nazareth. Michael Jordan, Robert Smith, Bill Cosby, and my main man Deion Sanders. Okay, it's a very exclusive list. Very exclusive list. So AL, do your thing. I'm gonna reset my phone, and I'll be right back while AL's doing his thing.
Okay, dope. Good morning, gentlemen. Long live the habitual line steppers. Y'all know how we do. Yay, yay. I'm going second. I'm a second Black Guru's nomination. I do agree with Black Guru. It should be nobody but none other than Lou Alcindor, a.k.a. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I mean, when you think about it, this man helped lead a movement, not just in his basketball play. I'm talking about he was one of the 5-6 athletes that stood up for Muhammad Ali in the civil rights movement, and then on top of that, I mean, he was vocal. I mean, literally vocal on so many issues that dealt with human rights. And this man was not liked mostly because of that, because he stood up and took a stance for fellow Black athletes who were in situations like, the baseball player Kirk Flood. He stood behind him in him getting that free agency deal. He went through a fight to get that. Kareem was on his side. He was on, like I said, Muhammad Ali's side. He stood up for him when he didn't want to go to war for a shit-talking president. And he wanted to he wanted to stand on his religious beliefs when they didn't care for it. You know, white society was calling what's his name? They were calling Muhammad Ali all kinds of names, everything under the book. Him, Bill Russell, Jim Brown, and Robinson, Frank Robinson. They stood up. They stood up and they said, "Hey, no, this is not right. We stand with Muhammad Ali, and for that itself, he gets my nomination." I mean, like we were saying, this man has wrote books on top of books on top of books, trying to wake Black America up and giving his perspective on how we've been treated and we are treated in this country. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, I'm not even going to get started on his accolades because as far as I'm concerned, there is no one better. I mean, you can say what you want to say. That one shot right there, that sky hook, who could stop it? He didn't have to. He could kill you with the sky hook and didn't even have to go to the rim and dunk a ball. But he did that. He dunked on you. He rebounded on you. But then he had a shot that could nobody stop. Could nobody. And I'll leave it there.
Well, AL, when and no insult to Roger or even to maybe other people who think like him, but Kareem was supposed to be on that living legend list before a couple of folks. Like, for real.
You know
Like,
it.
I mean,
You know it.
it's fucking Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I mean, Kareem was doing stuff before we had even heard about a couple of those guys. So,
And by
it's kind of,
go
things
ahead.
are kind of out of order a little bit. Again, not an insult intended, but it's almost an insult to put Kareem in this nominee status. It's fucking Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I mean, it's not even really a question.
Well, Roger been out of order since the end of the year. He started the year out of order, his phone out of order, and the list out of order. That's just what Roger do.
And we know where his heart lies. His heart lies with Chicago every day, all day.
Well, look, not trying, like I say, if you ask me who the greatest basketball player I ever saw, I would probably say MJ. But if we talk about who the living legends are, I mean, you got to put Kareem at or the top or just about at the top of that list. I mean, I'm okay with Bill Cosby. I'm okay with y'all guys, Jesus of Nazareth. But after that, amongst living folks, I would say Kareem. I would say, like I say, Stevie Wonder. Maybe Barry Gordy. Maybe Smokey Robinson. I mean, in terms of because to me, when you do living legends, you also, to me, have to give some deference to age. You got to make sure that the oldest surviving amongst us get the call before they go. So maybe some consideration should be given to that because Kareem has had health trouble recently. He has had heart problems for years. So, when you talk about living legends, usually there's a deference given to aging brothers or aging people because you want to honor them while they're still here.
Well, that's why I said Magic Johnson. I mean, my man is terminally ill. We don't know when he gonna check out.
Man, cut that out. Cut that out. That man got enough pills that can raise the dead. He ain't dying and he ain't under the ground. Come on, he ain't nowhere near close. That man is like he's 60, 64, 65 years old, man. Cut it out.
I'm just saying, I'm just trying to get him to live a legend, and I'm trying to throw everything I can in there for him. That's all.
Let me say this. If anybody remembers, because I'm trying to remember, did we actually honor Magic Johnson? Which I don't know for 100% for sure that we actually did. If anybody else remembers that,
we haven't.
Okay. All right.
Now
But
we've honored Bill Russell. We honored Bill Russell.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we gave him. Yeah, he got the grand finale. Because and y'all keep in mind while y'all trying to attack me for the list. Remember, this is something that has developed as I was doing the show. It's something that has developed over time. So you know what? I'm trying to get the right people in, and I'm opening the flow so other people can start suggesting who the right people are. So this is something that has developed over time. So Jesus of Nazareth, when I even decided to give a Living Legend award, I couldn't give one out without honoring him first. In my heart, I couldn't even do it. I couldn't even really look myself in the mirror and give it to anybody without giving him one first. And then, of course, it went to the great Michael Jordan. But this is stuff that has developed over time about how I'm going to bring other people in. So, hey, everyone's going to get their chance. I did actually get Kareem and Bill Cosby in as quickly as I thought that I should, because I was like, these guys got to have at least a shot of becoming a living legend. So, shout out to them brothers. Shout out to them brothers. Now, shout out to Inspired Truth. He says, don't forget Kareem was rocking with Bruce Lee. Hey, you know what? That's why he got a Rufus Nice Guy, because, he been doing this thing for such a long time. He has had a great impact. Black Uru trying to thumb it up for sure. And shout out to Bruce on Wayne, who says, Black Uru for the Rufus Nice Guy, no contest. Well, we'll get him on the list, y'all. We'll get him on the list, okay? But nominate y'all people. Like I said, any comment section, just Rufus Nice Guy nominee. We will take that in consideration. We're only a few go in the year, though. I'm gonna tell you that now, y'all. It's gonna be a hard award to become a living legend, and I designed it that way on purpose. It's gonna be very hard to become a living legend. But let me get the great Chef Mike's Roundtable in the building. Let me get him in. Chef, you got it, my brother. You got it.
Oh, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to find yourself on this first show of 2026. Happy New Year to everyone, and it does feel good to sit in the Highlanders position for the first part of the year. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please do so. Like the content and share it with someone. Greetings to everyone on the panel. AL, it's good to see you again. Black Uru, is always good to see you, sir. Demolition Man,
Likewise.
what's happening?
Yes, sir.
Yay.
Listen, I want to, and I 100% would agree with everything that you all have said as far as Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Black Uru, what you said about Stevie Wonder and the others. I could not agree with you more. However, I want to come up and nominate Eddie Murphy for the Living Legend Award. And I'm going to follow the guidelines that Black Uru said, as far as depth of work, context, age. There is a time in comedy, in entertainment, that was before Eddie Murphy, and then there's after Eddie Murphy. Not only in comedy, stand-up, in film, in music, in television, in entertainment, there's before Eddie Murphy, and then there's after Eddie Murphy. And you know the mark if you've ever seen Delirious. Delirious is a milestone in the entertainment industry. Eddie Murphy has broken ground. He has blazed trails that so many others follow. He stood on the shoulders of giants and elevated the giants whose shoulders he stood on. He has made cult classics. Coming to America. Again, Delirious. Eddie Murphy, Raw. 48 Hours. His work on Saturday Night Live. Beverly Hills Cop. The list goes on and on. Boomerang.
Norbit,
The Golden Child. And these are
Dr.
movies
Doolittle.
that we not only remember, but we can quote, we can mark points in our life with these things. We grew up with Eddie Murphy. Harlem Nights, arguably one of the greatest casts of
Come on.
big, I
Come
mean
on.
big balling
Come
hitters
on.
ever. Red Fox,
Well,
Richard
definitely the
Pryor,
greatest cast of comedians
Come,
ever
come on.
appeared
ever
Come on, bro.
by
assembled.
far.
And
Yeah.
to this day, no one has ever done it again.
Come on,
Eddie
bro.
Murphy for the Living Legend Award, because
Preach.
without
And
Eddie
it's so
Murphy,
funny about
you don't
Harlem
get
Nights
so
because
much
you had
that we
all those
have now.
great comedians, and I think Della stole the movie from all of them. I think Della
Only
Reese
because she kicked Eddie
Listen,
Murphy's ass. That's the only reason she stole the show.
Well,
listen. So many powerhouse scenes in that movie. Like the whole
Yeah.
fight scene that y'all are talking about. Buster Rhymes, Pastor Cavassier. I'm just saying, this is the kind of influence. Look, Eddie Murphy sang with Michael Jackson.
come on, bro. Come
Like,
on, bro.
don't sleep on Eddie Murphy's voice. Eddie Murphy can sing, and he has done it with Michael Jackson. He's done it with
My
Snoop.
girl likes to party all the
Done it
time,
with
party
Rick
all the time,
James.
party all the time.
Listen, that skit with oh my goodness, what's my man? Him on Saturday Night Live. My man was playing Frank Sinatra, and Eddie Murphy was playing Stevie Wonder. Ebony and Ivory, you are black, I am white, you are blind as a bat, and I have sight. Iconic scenes, iconic things that we can just quote Eddie Murphy.
Come on,
The
man.
laugh, the look, the dress.
You know, I don't think
If
if you're a certain age, you know, Saturday Night Live never really recovered from Eddie Murphy leaving. It hit a mark with Eddie, and it never got there again. And it's not to take anything away from
Jared
there's a lot of good
Morgan.
comedians after,
Ooh,
a
yeah.
lot of good comedians after, but Eddie took that, and that's why they hated him
Yep.
for so long after he left, because he took the show to a certain level that they never could quite replicate. And he was in and out so quickly, and he was so young, and he became such a huge star so quickly. And they always kind of hated on him for that. And that's
not
why it was
only
only
that,
recently that he appeared on Saturday Night Live. It was only a few years ago that he even
yeah.
appeared on Saturday Night Live because of that. Yeah.
Listen, I'm gonna say one scene, and everybody who is of a certain age gonna know what I'm talking about, and you're gonna either laugh or go back to a memory. Whooping
it's gonna be
Panub
some
in all the
consequences.
wrong places.
Come on, bro. Looking for love in all the wrong places. Looking for love.
Listen, Velvet Jones.
Velvet
I
Jones,
want to be a
Gumby.
hoe.
Don't forget about Gumby.
Oh man,
Don't forget about Gumby.
Mr.
See, here's the thing
Mr.
about Eddie Murphy.
Robinson, Mr.
Eddie
Robinson's
Murphy,
neighborhood.
Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood, man. Listen, Eddie Murphy transcended. Eddie Murphy, he was able to reinvent himself so many times. We're talking about his movies, but then he transferred to cartoons. Somebody just mentioned it. Donkey, Mushu and Mulan.
Yeah, from yeah, he was a dragon or whatever in that.
I tell you
mean,
what, if
you guys, the thing that he is one of the greatest impressionists, or one of he can perfectly mimic anyone.
Yeah.
You know, he can be the Jewish guy, he can be the Italian guy, he can be the black guy, he can be the Jamaican guy. He can be James Brown. We didn't mention his work on his stuff on James Brown alone.
Oh, listen, James Brown
could have done a
had
movie.
him on
He could have done
stage.
a movie doing James Brown.
Man, James Brown had.
I feel so good. I think I might kiss myself.
And asked Can you really do it? And Eddie Murphy grabbed the mic and counted it off, and he was all day long. What I mean is this: he was able to do it all, and he was able to do it in a way that broke the mold. Just like Black Uru said, his work on Saturday Night Live. Oh my goodness, nobody could ever do that. His work in movies, his work on the stage.
And here's the most incredible thing about that. He was only like about 18, 19, 20 years old when he was doing it.
Started.
He was still a kid. He couldn't even legally buy a drink in New York while he
And if I'm not mistaken, Black Uru, he only had like a 3-year run on Saturday Night Live before the Hollywood came to call him for the movie. I thought it was like a 3-year run.
Yeah.
It's like a 3-year run. It was short though. I mean, because he's like
I think it was so impactful. I think it was so impactful, and everything he did was so on the money that it seemed longer than it actually was, because he was having hits every week, and he was creating new and different characters, new and different material every week. So it seemed like years, but it really wasn't that long a period of time.
Because if you think about it, John Belushi was the headline killer for Saturday Night Live. When Eddie came, it was no more John Belushi. They weren't talking about John Belushi. They were talking about Eddie.
John Belushi, no more Dan Aykroyd.
I give you a good contrast. Like they in the white world, they consider Seinfeld the greatest comedian of all time. But look how many years it took for him to have that kind of impact. Eddie had that kind of impact in 3 years on Saturday Night Live. If that guy ain't the living legend, it's gonna be some consequences and repercussions behind him.
I do want to stick my head.
Consider Seinfeld to be the greatest comedian.
No, in the white world, they consider Seinfeld. They consider Seinfeld in the white world. What I'm saying is, he transcended the white and the black world, but in 3 years, he did what it took Seinfeld to do in like 20-something years.
Yeah. And
that's what I'm saying.
And not only that, listen, think about what he did with Life when he teamed up with Martin Lawrence.
Come on,
and that whole cast of powerhouses again. Now, that right there, that was a genius move.
What you want now, Ray? What you want now, Ray?
Listen. The boom boom room.
If you think about it, the Life cast hit harder than Harlem Nights cast. I don't care what you say. That Life cast, them group of comedians with him, with that ensemble, out hit Harlem Nights.
And that's a matter of opinion, and I can respect that. I mean, I don't agree, but I can respect that because I see what you mean. It's another powerhouse. Look.
Yeah, I'm not taking nothing from Harlem Nights, but come on. If you look at everybody that was in Harlem Nights, all right, you know Red Fox. Red Fox was gonna go on. Thank you. He had your boy Bernie Mac. He had Cedric the Entertainer. He had Anthony. What's that boy's name? That Blackish. He had Blackish on there.
Yeah, Anthony Anderson.
Man, he had Joanna Man on there. Man, come on. The list go on.
It does.
Well, I want to throw something there for Eddie too.
Debate that all day, and that would be like, and for me, this is a freshman because I just watched Harlem Nights and Life. That's like Ole Miss and Georgia playing football last night. That's one of the best games I've ever seen.
I love it.
Well, I want to throw a good word in for Eddie Murphy, and I'm gonna change it to another guy. But I want to say when you think about the idea and the impact and the unbelievable accomplishment of Eddie Murphy being a cast member of Saturday Night Live and hosting Saturday Night Live while still being a cast member, because he was that important. He was that good, amazing,
I don't remember somebody doing that after him. Now, if somebody did it after him, y'all can let me know. But I don't remember nobody being a cast member and you get to host the show at the same time. That's big. Now, I do want to also give a shout out because I didn't put him on the list, but we did give him a Rufus Nice Guy Award. Denzel Washington, y'all. Now, I got to say, in Hollywood, especially amongst black actors, there's always certain black actors that's kind of doing their thing. I'm not saying the other guys don't do their thing, but there's always been these significant black actors. And it's 4 of them. There's been Sidney Poitier. Then it's been Denzel Washington. It's been Will Smith. And it's been Michael B. Jordan. Just is what it is. Okay? They are the ones that get all the good, well, I ain't gonna say all the good roles, but they get these great roles, they do their thing, and they've been quote unquote running Hollywood as per se amongst the black actors. So, Denzel did get that Rufus Nice Guy. Cannot leave him out. His cultural impact is phenomenal. We realistically speaking, every time you see somebody named Denzel, we all know who Denzel was named after. We know who he was named after. Somebody mama said, I'm naming my baby Denzel. Somebody dad said, no, I support Denzel. I can rock with that. So we know where all these new Denzels come from. Denzel was an unheard of name amongst black folk. Let's just be real about it. I think Denzel said it might be a German name or something like that. We ain't know nothing about no Denzel. But we got Denzels out there now. And we know where it come from. I'm saying we gotta respect his cultural influence as well. What bad movie did he do? You can't even name it. So I'm saying I gotta give him some love, and all this. And we will take age and things like that in consideration, but y'all, it's all about who people nominate in the future, y'all. So I'm not gonna say the list was put together bad. I think the list was put together well, but it developed into what it is today. It developed into this. So would I pull anybody off that living legend list? Of course not. I can understand saying that, maybe people should have got on that list first, but it developed into something. It wasn't it didn't start the way it is now. It developed into something. So there's a lot of greats out there that's going to get a chance to be honored, y'all, but we only going to do so many per year. And like I said, when I first decided this, I wanted to make this a really tough award for any man to get because I wanted to be recognized as the greatest award a man can get, point blank period. So it's going to be tough competition. And every year we're going to add some more people to get into that competition. And that's just real talk. So y'all make sure y'all give y'all nominees. And then when it comes to even the grand finale, y'all, if there's someone y'all think should get a grand finale who's already passed, y'all can say grand finale and put whatever name you want in there as well. And maybe I'll open up something in the future too about the women. Because I did do a few the most beautiful black women on the planet. And I'm gonna go back to that, but I'm gonna need some names of some beautiful women who should be considered. I'm gonna need some names, okay? Because the first one was Kelly Rowland. That's why she kind of turned into a big deal in the space. Because I was talking about how Kelly Rowland was always the finest one, and then Kevin Samuels turned into a really big name. He started using Kelly Rowland too, and boom, she started getting credit that she should have been given for being as fine as she's always been. But I'm gonna stay off Kelly because she married now. She wasn't married when I was looking at her, but she married now, so I'm gonna leave her alone. But that girl fine.
Every woman
okay?
who was ever a Jet Beauty of the Week nominated.
I agree.
Say one more time, please.
If she was ever a Jet Beauty of the Week, she should be nominated.
Beauty of the Week. Every last one of them women was fine. I don't care what nobody say. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then you don't get a seat at the grown folks table. But every woman that was a Jet Beauty of the Week nominated.
Okay. Well, we gonna announce a woman soon, y'all. We will announce a woman soon. We'll do some things off air, whatever case is. But we will announce another woman soon for being the most beautiful woman on the planet. We'll get to that soon, and we're gonna do that every year as well, y'all. We're gonna do that every year. But I think we do have some great candidates to consider at this particular point right now. The last Ruthless Nice Guy, my main man Arsenio Hall, him being on this list with his buddy Eddie Murphy and Chef Mike, you made a great impression about Eddie Murphy. Now, Black Hole, you did your thing for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Okay, and I'm gonna say these other guys was a little scared. That's why they just went with you. They were scared because you.
Who? Watch your mouth, man. Watch your mouth. I came with historical facts for Kareem too. I ain't
gotta be starting stuff, Roger.
I'm 100% joking. Yeah, I'm 100% joking.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but I mean, Kareem's cultural impact has been phenomenal. And real talk, he has stood up for black men in areas that other people wouldn't necessarily show themselves. So let's keep that. I mean, what's that famous picture with Muhammad Ali? Who was in that? Muhammad Ali, Jim Brown, Kareem was there.
Frank Robinson, Jim Brown, Bill Russell. It was like the talented six. It was like 5 of them supporting one man. That was made.
Absolutely. So I gotta give Kareem his credit. He's definitely one of the greatest to do whatever. But I'm gonna say Chef Mike made a very, very compelling argument for Eddie Murphy, which has to be considered. If you ask me.
Wait a second, Chef Mike just jumped on my bandwagon. He knew I only had 2 minutes, and then he rolled on after that. Don't be giving Chef Mike all my credit. Go ahead.
As great as Eddie is, and I agree with everything that Chef said about Eddie. I saw it happening in all real time, so I don't take any exception to anything he said. But Kareem influence is longer, and he's older. And if you're gonna do a living legend, typically you're gonna pick somebody who's older because you're trying to honor people while they're still alive. That's why you typically see when you do these living legends, you usually see people with gray beards because they honored, for example, Sammy Davis Jr. In '88, and he was dead like about 6 months later, and they honored him because they knew that it wasn't going to be that long. So when people do living legends, typically they're doing it for two primary purposes. They want to honor the great contributions of somebody, but they want to do it while that person's still alive. And usually we don't know how much longer he's going to be here. And so if I had to pick between Eddie and Kareem, I'm going to pick Kareem for that reason. Eddie's considerably younger. He seems to be.
And Eddie's 62. Eddie's 62, 63. Kareem is like 82, 83. Yeah, come on. The hourglass is not favoring Kareem, so I mean, we got a little ways to go with your boy Eddie. So no, Kareem's the shoe in by age alone. Yeah, because you know what I'm saying. He finna fall, man. He finna fall down. And before he fall down, he got to get this award. Eddie will get this award. Don't worry. He will get it, but he's not getting it today. No, I'm sorry. Not today. I'm with the elder because I'm in that elder group. We 2 elders to none. We win. Holla.
And understand this, Roger. Understand this. I completely agree with Black Uru. I can make a case for Eddie Murphy and still agree with Black Uru and say, you know what? Kareem does kind of edge it out, but it's not an easy edge out. Listen, I watched Kareem play for the Lakers. Like I watched those series. I was not a LA Lakers fan. I was a Detroit Pistons fan. But the camaraderie that I saw between the Pistons and the Lakers, even though they were rivals, they were like, there was Magic Johnson and Isaiah Thomas. They was best friends. So it was like, them my cousins, that's cool. So watching, Kareem play year after year and dreading that one shot, like just dreading the fact that that's going to be the shot that takes the championship away from us. I can definitely agree. Listen.
Let me get in after you get done, Chef Mike. Let me get in.
Never seen The Game of Death. If you've never seen The Game of Death and you saw Bruce Lee struggle,
Put that foot on him.
With Kareem, y'all don't understand. He is a legend. A legend. Like, for real. So, I mean, as much as I can make a case for Eddie Murphy, I'm more than happy to sit back and be like, yeah, Black Guru, you're right. Kareem should get this award. But I want you to understand, this is an award that ain't easy to get. You got to have accolades. You got to have a resume. You got to have context behind your name. And anybody else that would come up to get nominated, you got to jump over Eddie Murphy before you can even sniff the resume of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'm gonna say this real quick.
Look at to give some perspective. Deion's on the list, right? The year Deion was born, I think Kareem had won like his third straight collegiate championship. Just to give you some perspective. And 3 straight NCAA MVPs. The year Deion was born. This is the accomplishments of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. The year Deion was born, Kareem had won 3 straight high school championships, would have won 4, but he couldn't play as a high school player, and had won 3 straight collegiate championships. He would have won 4, but he couldn't play as a freshman college player. So Kareem had won 6 straight championships, high school and college, by the time of the year that Deion, the great, I admit, great Deion Sanders, had been born. Just to give you all some perspective on my argument.
And if you count all them, then you add 6 more NBA titles. Come on now.
NBA, exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
The only person who got more rings than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is Bill Russell. And Bill Russell was a player coach for 1 year in his last year.
Yeah, shout out to Bill Russell because he's definitely got a grand finale. So shout out to Bill Russell. Unfortunately, we couldn't give him a living legend because this hadn't started in that time. But that's why I say, y'all, sometimes life ain't fair. And I'm gonna say age should be considered to certain things, but I definitely don't want this restricted to just age. Because if I start bringing up my main man Chris Brown, fairly young guy, younger than all of us, but he's made such a great cultural impact. He got a resume too. That's all I'm saying. He got a resume too.
That resume ain't deep enough. I'm sorry. I'm gonna just be flat out.
Crazy though, because Stevie Wonder ain't even nowhere on here.
Man,
and he's probably the greatest songwriter, living songwriter.
And you know what? I mean, I believe there's a lot of people that should have gotten the Rufus Nice Guy because of certain positions. Because when I think about songwriters, you're right. Stevie Wonder, I argue Stevie Wonder, Smokey Robinson, and R. Kelly, the 3 greatest songwriters still breathing, if not ever. You know, the 3 the greatest writers ever. And they should be here, but they ain't here yet. And I'm gonna say probably this is y'all fault. I developed the thing.
Who is the y'all you talking about?
Wait a second. Wait a second.
let's not
Go
get this
ahead.
misconstrued. This is me trying to take the blame off myself and just throwing it somewhere.
Listen,
Stop it. Don't do that.
look.
Take accountability. I thought we take accountability around here.
Let me say this. Unlike Chef Mike, I ain't scared of Black Ubu today. I ain't scared of it. I understand, and this is as a Laker fan. I'm saying this. I understand that my man, formerly known as Lou Alcindor, is great. But I'm standing up for my man Eddie Murphy because not only was he talented in the things that he did in the films that he made, bro, he did it with a dignity that gave our people dignity. When you look at those movies like Harlem Nights, bro, they gave us dignity in the time when we needed to reclaim our dignity in most of the movies he made. This man is impactful to us as a people, even through film and movies, man. I'm with Eddie Murphy on this one, man.
Now, I'm gonna say that's a great statement. Now that is a great statement. And with how Black people have been portrayed over time in Hollywood and things like that, Eddie Murphy did have a great impact on helping our overall image out. You know, you can stand to see a Black man in a suit now. Okay. And Eddie Murphy, you know, was one of those guys where you really didn't see, like I said, there's only like 4 Black actors from a historical standpoint that people look at. Eddie Murphy made it a lot more comfortable for a lot of people to star in the movie. You know,
Come
Eddie
on,
Murphy
bro.
did do that now. He did do that, you know, because like I say, when it comes to actors, you basically got Sidney Poitier, you got Denzel who got the baton after him, and that was kind of passed to Will Smith, and now it's being passed to Michael B. Jordan. 4 guys, as far as Hollywood is concerned, you know, and Eddie Murphy made it comfortable to have some more Black people lead some stuff. I mean, without Eddie Murphy, do we even get a Will Smith?
Come on, bro.
You know, so everybody has definitely earned their position.
It all depends on your perspective. Like I say, you guys are young and you kind of have a somewhat I dare say limited view of the timeline of our development culturally.
Black Ubu, I'll call it a
To
selective
me,
view. They have a selective view.
well, I won't say selective because that implies that they are being willfully myopic. I don't think it's willful. I just think there's a perspective you get from time. You know, and you know, Kareem risked things that Eddie didn't risk. You know, Kareem risked being, you know, probably run out of the league when he declared that he was Muslim during a time when it wasn't very popular to be Muslim. It still ain't really popular to be Muslim, but in 1969, to declare yourself this foreign religion to white people, that was a big deal back then. There was a lot of risk associated with that back then.
And don't forget,
And then
Black
to
Ubu.
align yourself. Well,
I was gonna say, don't forget, Black Ubu. They could have had his black ass when he punched that white boy. When that white boy elbowed him like he did, and he decided to retaliate. They suspended him for some games. I'm talking about they could have had
Kurt
Kareem.
Benson, I think that was his name.
Yeah, that was Kurt
I think
Benson.
his name was
Yeah,
Kurt Benson.
it was Kurt Benson.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, I mean,
you
look,
correct.
Kareem took stands when the society could have decided to take him out. You know, and as great as Eddie is, I don't take anything away from Eddie's impact. Like I say, I actually saw it real time. I saw all of it real time, and from the perspective of an adult. So I'm not discounting Eddie at all. But when I compare him to Kareem and the durability, you know, the man played 20 years in the NBA when it meant something to play 20 years in the NBA. You know, now with
In
all
low
this
time.
shit and load management and all this, it don't mean as much. This guy played center in the National Basketball Association for 20 years. You know, so when I look at Kareem, you know, it's one thing to, you know, like I said, Eddie had a lot of fame, had a lot of success very early, kind of tail off a little bit in the middle, but kind of picked back up a little bit later. But when I compare him to Kareem, I think of the risk that Kareem took as well, and the duration of his greatness. You know,
I agree.
duration of his greatness again might have been Eddie Murphy's whole life. What was Eddie born in? What, 1960, 61? Kareem might have been winning high school championships, I guess. Or what? I mean, so to me, I have to add age to the formula as well if you're going to make the comparison, because again, the duration and the durability of one's greatness under the circumstance does mean something to me. You know, that's why I say when look, I might be a fan of Chris Brown, but I can't put him in the same conversation as Stevie Wonder. You know,
I agree, 100%. 100%.
Yeah. Yeah,
100%. Now listen, I'm with Black Uru on the point that he's making.
Before you say it, let me just throw this in real quick. Shout out to Jason Mew. He said Dave Chappelle too. You know what? I just added Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle is a Rufus Nice Guy. Before I truly developed this the way I did, we did honor Dave Chappelle. We had one of the greatest shows ever about Dave Chappelle. I'm so sorry we don't have it right now. It was one of the greatest shows ever about Dave Chappelle. So Dave Chappelle is definitely a Rufus Nice Guy. I do apologize, y'all. I was trying to remember everything right fast. So, you know, sometimes stuff slip past, but Dave Chappelle can win a living legend. He has been a Rufus Nice Guy as well. So shout out to Jason Mew for that. All right, go ahead. Say what you was gonna say, my brother.
No, I agree with what Uru was saying. Like we said, we're not tearing down anybody for the sake of building anybody up. So there's definitely points to that. But going back to Eddie Murphy and me standing up for Eddie Murphy and putting a bid in for him, bro. In once again in this time period where we're coming out of the 50s and the 60s and the 70s, we're into the 70s and the early 80s where he started getting popular. Eddie Murphy is responsible for white people starting to turn the corner on hating black people as much as they did. They love this nigga. He made white people say, well, maybe the rest of them niggas ain't so bad. He's one of the catalysts for that.
I'm kind of ambivalent about how I feel in hindsight. I'm kind of and again, it's not a critique of Eddie as much as it is, you know, we things got we kind of lost focus. We kind of lost focus socially and culturally. And I'm not faulting Eddie for that, but in some ways, what happened there made it easier for those people to forget and pretend that, you know, you can look at Eddie and look at how beloved he was and how famous and how rich and everything he was, and kind of paint this picture of a social evolution that wasn't really occurring. Because what was always somewhat ironic about a lot of what Eddie was do would be he would be the only white guy of any significance in some of those movies. And to me, that would say a lot as well. You know,
somebody had to be first, though. Somebody got to go first.
No, look, I'm not. I don't want to critique Eddie at all. I'm saying that I think to some degree, Eddie was used to sanitize what was really happening with black people and white people.
That's
to
possible.
Some degree. And this is a hindsight. This is a hindsight perspective. This is not me at all critiquing Eddie, the decisions he made, whatever. You know, this was 1970s, 1980s, very different time, very different opportunities, whatever. So I'm not at all critiquing him as much as how people, the society responded to his used and responded to his success.
I do understand, and without disagreeing, I'm adding an also to what you're saying.
And
Somebody
here's
had
the
to.
thing too, there's a reason why Kareem never became a head coach in the NBA, because the league hated him.
Yes.
The media hated him.
He was too militant
Because
for
he
him.
was so honorable. He was so honorable and so studious and so forthright,
They didn't
so
have no
much of a
dirt on him.
man
They didn't have no dirt on
that,
him.
right. He was so much, but it wasn't just that they didn't have any dirt on him. Kareem didn't take their shit, man. He didn't
None.
Right.
take their shit. He was notoriously defiant against all that white bullshit. That's the reason why he never got a head coaching job in the NBA.
He's been a consultant. He's been an assistant coach, but he's never been able to get that head coaching job anywhere.
Yeah,
I don't know if
he's
he's
into.
ever even been interviewed. This guy
Well,
was for 40 years the all-time leading scorer in the history of the league. I don't think he ever got
yeah,
an interview for a head coaching job.
he's definitely being punished, and I was I was a young fellow, but I was a Laker fan during the time that he was playing, and I'm aware of a lot of what you're talking about. So I agree
Think of
hundred
all.
percent.
Hold on. I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that. Think of all the
Yeah,
bum-ass coaches the Lakers have had the
What I'm
last
talking
40
about,
some odd
bum
years.
ass coaches.
When you
I agree.
carve out, hold on, when you carve out Phil Jackson and and Pat Riley, think of all the bum-ass coaches you've seen, and how is it Kareem don't even get an opportunity to coach the Lakers?
Because he's blackballed.
That's intentional.
Yes.
Exactly.
Can I read this real quick?
So
Let me read this real quick, y'all.
to me that's a living legend.
Let me read this real quick, y'all. Shout out to Black Hulu Strikes. He said Kareem should have been amongst the very first living legends. Now, he said this at 9:33 a.m., y'all. So let me just make it plain. Black Hulu came in with an agenda today, y'all. He gonna get Kareem this award, and whether we like this or not.
I'm not going to even say I did.
I ain't scared of Black Uru today. I ain't scared of Black Uru today. Chef Mike bowed down quick. Chef Mike was like, "Yes, I'm boss." I ain't doing that today. I'm standing up for Eddie
Murphy. Really quickly, so may I jump in here real quickly, right? Because the demolition man gonna get blown up for real. One thing about it, and I want to make it very, very clear that I did not acquiesce. I'm not afraid of Black Uru. This is a healthy debate. If you've ever seen the movie 12 Angry Men, then you understand how an argument can be one way, and you can actually be persuaded to see the argument in a different light. So, Demolition Man, you keep throwing shots, okay?
Okay, that's my last shot. That's my last shot.
That's all I'm gonna say, and that's the last time I'm gonna say it.
I ain't gonna say nothing else till Bible study. I'm back. My bad.
All right, y'all. The great Shark Sims is amongst us, so I'm gonna let him chime in. Shark, you got the mic, my brother. Glad to see you. Glad to see you.
Hey, what's up, fellas? How y'all doing?
Doing well, brother. Doing well.
Dope topic. And I was listening to everybody's argument, and I honestly gotta say, well, not gotta say, because most of the times I do agree with the God. Uru was absolutely right. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, can't take nothing away from Eddie. You can't take some things away from Eddie, but as far as when it comes, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was about the cause. He was for the people. Like, he stood on business. He kicked Bruce Lee butt. He kicked white supremacy's butt. And he was doing it. He was doing it probably 15 years before Eddie was born. That says a lot, man. Can't nobody tell you nothing when you've been doing it before they was even born.
Ew.
And I'm gonna land my plane right there.
Black Guru hired him, y'all. Don't buy into this.
Hey
Black
man,
Guru.
somebody got to fight for Eddie up here. Somebody got to do it. I got to do it. But listen, I ain't taking nothing away, man. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, man, is amazing, amazing. And
Cats
you say?
like Kareem made it possible for Eddie Murphy.
They throwing some tough shots out here today, boy. They throwing some tough shots. I'm gonna say Kareem wasn't no bull. It's that simple. He played for the wrong team. He put 20 years on the wrong team. Shout out to Jason Mew. Jason Mew say Bill Cosby. No. Bill Cosby has gotten his living legend. He is a living legend, bro. It's 5 of them. What is it? 5 of them out there. Jesus Nazareth, Michael Jordan, Bill Cosby, Robert Smith, and Deion Sanders. So no, he's gotten his. He can't go to no higher heights than what he's gotten already. So he at the tippity tip top. But I am gonna say, y'all, the case for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is a very, very, very strong and significant case that really can't be ignored. Everybody who got nominated is great. I'm not taking anything from anybody. Keith Lee, who made a tremendous social impact, even though he's a young man.
Wait, who is Keith Lee? That's what my second.
The guy who he was an MMA fighter and then turned food critic that actually gained the power to restore people's business. This man give you a proper shout out. You in business now. He saved people from literally going bankrupt. That's how much influence he got.
I agree with you on that. But the fact that somebody had to say who is Keith Lee eliminates him.
No. My thing is, we ain't gonna say nothing bad about nobody. You know what I'm saying?
No. I'm not saying anything bad. I know who Keith Lee is, and he is great at what he does. But the fact that one of us got up here and honestly said, "Who is Keith Lee?" He got to come back next year.
No. Hey, everybody gonna get a chance every year. It's just the only issue is every year it comes up, you'll be against more nominees because it'll be more people that's gonna win the Rufus Nice Guys. There's and then now you go up against them added to become a living legend. Nobody's name falls off the list. So no, I totally get what you're saying. And and there's different spheres of influence, so everybody ain't gonna know everybody. That is something we got to really consider. Yeah, but when it comes down to it, everybody on the list has made great impact. But Kareem has done some impact
why you give deference to old. What you just described is why you give deference to older people, because Keith Lee has a longer period of time to live and make contributions than Kareem. So that's why in these kind of scenarios, that's why you typically get, because he ain't gonna be. Keith Lee can do.
Yeah. In general, he'll be able to impact the world for decades. In theory,
so to speak.
Roger.
Jabbar does.
I believe Roger's secretly working against me and making it hard for me up here. That's what he's doing. Roger working.
I'm just literally trying to make sure everybody gets proper shine. That's all I'm really trying to do. Make sure everybody gets proper shine.
I'm doing what you did earlier. I'm shifting the blame because I can't say nothing about Chef Mike, so I'm putting it on you now.
Man, hey, don't. And that's okay. I guess I got to bear that brunt. But no, I'm just trying to make sure everybody gets their proper shine because everybody who's won a Ruthless Nice Guy, there's all these different men to pick from, and only a few guys gonna get a Ruthless Nice Guy per year. So they all great men at the end of the day. Shout out to Mike Ivan Reed. He said Mike Tyson. You know what? I will put him on the list to win a Ruthless Nice Guy. He definitely earned it. He's definitely earned it. I'll put him on the list. And like I say, there's so many people who've done so many things that just to even
have a chance to become a living legend, you're a great man at the end of the day. You know, so all the people matter. You know, Dave Chappelle matters. Denzel Washington matters. You know, Keith Lee matters. Chris Brown matters. You know, all these people have had great impact. But I am going to say this. Realistically speaking, because I don't want to say anything because of age per se, even though I understand give deference to the age. And y'all can consider that as y'all nominate people to get a Rufus Nice Guy Award. You know, we want to give it to some people. Well, you know, because as the Roger Report Live gets bigger, it will be known to folks, and hopefully people will find out that we have honored them, because this is a pure award here. We're not doing all that political stuff and all that. We are real people giving real honor to people that we really believe impacted our world in a great and positive way. So it's not the political stuff they do at award shows and all that type of stuff. No, we keep it real over here. So to me, this is always going to be way more prestigious than the other folks who give out awards, because we ain't got to do the politics and we ain't got to kiss nobody's rear end or anything like that. And none of them have to do so. No, we just going to recognize their greatness and keep it pushing. So there's always going to be a great list of people that's just going to go stronger and stronger every single year. But I am going to say, when you look at some of the things that Kareem did have to go through, I understand why Black Peru was pushing for him so much. I'm just saying it was his agenda to come on here and make sure Kareem Abdul-Jabbar get this award. But I'm not saying that that's a bad agenda. I'm not saying that's a bad agenda. It definitely was his agenda. Now that I see what he said at 9:33, it clearly was his agenda. But that don't make it a bad thing.
You say a living legend. You say a living legend. This guy has been winning for over 60 years.
All
so
he
when
did
you talk
was
about
win.
living legend, how do you exclude someone who has been so great for so long? In comparison to, look, I'm not taking anything away from what the other gentlemen have done, but Keith Lee's been doing his thing for what, 5-6 years, whatever. So it's like, I mean, you know, it's a interesting comparison. I'll put it that.
I agree.
It's an interesting comparison. Yeah.
Listen,
I
man,
definitely agree with you.
I heard a very intelligent and wise man just ask the question, who is Keith Lee? That's what I heard.
Who is Keith Lee?
That's
Who
what I
is
heard.
Keith Lee? We talking about living legends. Who is Keith Lee in the sense of a living legend?
In this whole
He's nothing.
In the scheme of things of who we talking about, no.
We're not gonna put these men down, y'all, because
No,
like
we're
I
not
said,
putting them down
they've all
because you
achieved
nominated
greatness.
them. If you nominated them, you get. Hey, I was all right. I'm nominated for a Grammy. I'm gonna be happy that I'm just nominated. All right, these cats are happy that you, Roger, you put them in the list of nominees. But come on now, right now we only talking about two legitimate people, and that's Kareem and that's Eddie. They put in the work. They put in the work.
No. I agree with that, but I'm gonna say no. These other guys should they have strong considerations too. Denzel didn't put a lot of work in. Dave Chappelle put a lot of work in. Arsenio Hall has put a lot of work in. They're not going against nobody. Dr. J, come on, they're not going against nobody. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say it's gonna be the toughest award a black man can earn. You know,
quiet as kept. If it wasn't for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar being in there, Eddie Murphy would be hands down my pick. But you messed up when you put Kareem in there.
What? Yeah. No, I ain't gonna say we messed up. It's Kareem earned it. At the end of the day, he earned it. You know,
we put a greater, what could be a greater man on a great list. That's all it will be.
Yeah, y'all. I mean, every president has had their impact, but it's only it's only 4 people on Mount Rushmore.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm just saying that's just how the game goes sometimes. You know, the living legend is the greats amongst the greats. That's all I'm saying. It's the greats amongst the greats, because it's gonna be hard to even get that Rufus Nice Guy. You know,
but hey,
period.
If you let Don Cheeto tell it he's gonna try to get himself on the Mount Rushmore as the 5th before Barack. But we know that ain't gonna happen. That's what he want. That's what his people want, but it ain't gonna happen.
Listen, we got to give John Cheeto credit. He's been entertaining us for years. For years, it's been. And before the black people hated him, they loved him because the rappers used to shout him out in the 80s and 90s. You see what I'm saying? But when he became a Republican, all of a sudden we hated him.
Well,
Yo,
I'm gonna
the
say
fact
this.
that y'all calling him Don Cheeto got me on the floor over here.
Man, he been Don Cheeto. I've been done gave him that label in the Black Manosphere as Don Cheeto. You can ask Black Guru and BGS. BGS knows I call him Don Cheeto all the time.
Nah, that's hilarious. I was thinking
he
y'all
definitely
was
been
talking
doing
about
that.
Don Cheeto till I listened to the context, and I was like, nah, they got me with that one.
Yeah, he definitely been doing that. And I'm gonna say, shout out to him. But sometimes you just ain't got the right skin color, so he can't get this award ever. He just wasn't born
he'll
black.
never get it.
He wasn't born black, and y'all life ain't fair sometimes. So, like I say, this is the greatest award anybody can earn, if you ask me, because of how I set this up. This is the greatest award a man can earn. But if you ain't black, you ain't gonna even get considered. Life ain't fair. So you gotta suck that in sometimes. You gotta suck that in. And I'm not trying to say that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar resume don't speak volumes. I'm just the host of the show, and I just want to make sure everybody get a little bit of shine, because all these guys did a whole lot of work and should get a whole lot of credit for being able to even get a Ruthless Nice Guy in the first place.
And shout out to you, Roger, for putting all these high quality nominees up. But guess what? They don't qualify. They qualify in the nominee category, but they don't qualify to win the award.
Hey, I'm gonna solicit the help of the chat. I need the chat's help because I'm the only man up here trying to commit this mutiny. I'm trying to get Eddie Murphy in. Y'all need to help me out now.
It ain't gonna happen. Not today. Not on January the 2nd.
Yeah, I do want to say, as far as the chat is concerned, we gonna do this once a year because only one guy gonna get it per year. I do want the chat to always throw in who y'all think need to get something. Be a part of it.
If I were asserting my own personal bias, just who I would pick, I would pick Dr. J. I grew up wanting to be Julius Irving. All the guys I knew around me wanted to be Julius Irving. Like I say, to me, Dr. J is the father of modern basketball. Everybody either wanted to be Dr. J, wanted to be the guy who wanted to be Dr. J, or wanted to be the guy who wanted to be the guy who wanted to be Dr. J. There's a direct line between Dr. J and MJ and Kobe and Kyrie.
I agree.
Now, in that same breath.
So if I was just going by my own personal choices, that it would be Julius Irving, but I got to give deference to Kareem.
Now, I'm glad you said that, Black Guru. Check this out. Like you said, you wanted to be Dr. J. I'm 5'7", and I was throwing sky hooks way. I mean, from 8 years old and up. My favorite shot. I thought I was a 5, and I'm playing there. And them dudes like, man, what you keep doing there? You're a guard. I say, no, watch me throw this sky hook on you. I'm gonna get up in there, and I'm talking about 5'7". I used to throw the prettiest sky hook too. They're like, why? Hey, what Kareem said, you got to practice the form. You got to get the form there. And man, can you imagine 5'7" throwing a sky hook? No, man. I just like I say, and then came Akeem Olajuwon. And once I seen Akeem Olajuwon hose Kareem in 84, 85, I was like, Kareem, you got to take a back seat. There's a new African in town. But before that African jumped on the scene, I was team captain.
Okay, and I'm gonna say shout out to Floyd Thompson. He said, Roger, do a live poll in the chat. Unfortunately, the polls only allow you 4 choices, and it's gonna be far more than 4 choices at this point. That's why I'm not doing the poll.
We don't need but 2.
The chat can chime in. The chat can chime in.
We
Just use
only
the two.
need
Use
two
Eddie and
choices.
Kareem.
We only need two choices, sir.
Cause ain't nobody said them other guys' names for the last 48 minutes.
It's
Look,
it's uh, it's down to two. It's just down to two. So you can put those two names in the chat if you want to do a poll. And I'm telling you, hands down, it's gonna be Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So says the elders, chat. So says the
and,
elders. Y'all better
I'm
get with the program.
And before y'all vote, I'm a Lakers fan. I grew up a Lakers fan from 1982 going forward. I watched the captain. I watched the Showtime Lakers. I watched Cooper. Man, come on, man. I watched Green. I love that team. Byron Scott. I love it. Was the
To
only
get
all
a
black
captain your
team
vote. Get
in
a
the
captain your
NBA.
vote.
I
Get a
can't do
captain
it.
your vote. Get a
I
captain
can't
your
do it.
vote. Oh
I
man,
can't
come
do it.
on.
And you
We gonna pull your Laker card. We gonna pull your Laker fan card for that.
Listen, I'm
Just on
gonna
the
tell you.
strength.
for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, he never had no controversy.
Hey man, I'm gonna tell you like Arsenio Hall said in Hall Nights. Put that little motherfucker down.
Look, whoever said Kareem didn't have controversy, y'all crazy. I just told y'all he punched the shit out of that Benson dude and broke his goddamn jaw, and he got suspended for half the season, man. He went through controversy, man, and Black Guru know what I'm talking about. The media hated Kareem. The media led the charge for
They
Kareem not
did.
to be a coach. It wasn't like GMs like Jerry West loved Kareem. You know what I'm saying? But it was because of the politics of the media. Only that is the reason why he's not a head coach.
And in contrast, not because I'm in agreement with what you're saying, and I think he stood tall, he stood strong, and he was also a man of integrity. That's what I really loved about him. But in contrast, and it's after the fact, so it does follow Kareem, Eddie somehow became this beloved figure amongst the same type of people.
The only controversy Eddie Murphy has had is he was accused of dating a transsexual, and then the other controversy is with him cheating on all his wives. You know what I'm saying? That ain't nothing. That's nothing. That's nothing.
When did Eddie ever take any public stances against
He's
white
never took a
supremacy?
public stand.
Never.
No, he never. Now, when it comes to that, he doesn't measure up against Kareem.
Well, it's all in the.
So when you compare him to Kareem, so when you compare him to Kareem, it's a weird comparison because Kareem wrote books about racism. I mean, the man wrote books about racism and history and lynching and all of that. So of course those people are going to think and treat Kareem very differently than what they think of and treat Eddie. Although they have not always been particularly friendly to Eddie. You know, look, they loved Eddie when he was white, super hot. But the moment he started to tail off a little bit, they went after him.
And they forgot it. Think about this. They forgot about Eddie from the late 80s to the mid 90s. They took a real stance, the media, as far as Hollywood goes and whatnot, to let's let this dude die out. But guess what? He kept reinventing. In that sense, he kept reinventing himself. And then when he did, every movie, every little when he's voiceover he's doing or whatnot, he broke him. It's like, damn, we can't bury him like we want to. He keeps coming back relevant. He did that. He owns that.
Let me say this. Let me say this too, because I gotta not that it's gonna make, and there's no disrespect to him, not that it's gonna make much of a difference in this particular discussion. I do gotta add the name because we also gave a Rufus guy, nice guy, to our main man Shannon Sharp. I gotta throw his name out there too. Not
we
that
got the
once
award?
we gave him the Rufus nice guy.
For real?
Absolutely we did. You know, and proud to do it too. Proud to do it. You know,
I love,
even as he was going through controversy, and I'm gonna say everybody on this list gonna have some level of controversy because these are great black men. To think that a great black man is gonna come through America and have no controversy at all is almost an insane thought. So all of them
You're
had
not
dealt with
gonna
some
leave this world
controversy,
clean if you're a
but
black man. You're not gonna
yeah,
leave this world clean.
but we not gonna dive into quote unquote controversy because we honor these men. So we're not gonna let the insane rumors of other people trying to bother them because they black men even affect this conversation. But I do want to say we got to give a shout out to Shannon Sharp because he did become a ruthless nice guy as well. And unfortunately, when I lost challenge, it ain't like I could just go back and see every particular person we chose. I had to do all this stuff from memory. So shout out to Shannon Sharp. And Shannon, you've been doing your thing. But with the conversation we've been having thus far, y'all, I think, because I'm going to call this one early, y'all. I'm going to call this one early because based on how this conversation is going, and I gave everybody a chance to say something, I think it's kind of clear who we are really putting up there as a ruthless nice guy. So, yo, does anybody on this panel really believe it's not clear who's getting picked today?
You never know when it comes to Roger, so I'm just gonna sit back and wait and see.
Listen, man. I think you just need to get some real consideration to my boy. I mean, he taught us how to treat women and get the royal penis clean and everything, bro. He started the passport bros for us, man. Come on,
bro. Hey, everybody is a worthy nominee. I'm gonna say that everybody is a worthy nominee.
Hold on. Time out. If memory serves me correct, and Black Uru can back me up on this, Black Uru, I think my man married a white woman before Eddie Murphy even thought about dating white women. Tell him.
I don't think Kareem ever got married. I know he was with this white woman.
He was common law married to that white woman. He's still common law married to her.
Well, hold on. He is a man. He can marry who he wants. The woman's going to be led by the man. We're not women.
But when he said he was the first one who led the us dating out as far as different races go. Kareem did it first. Kareem was up there with Will and shit. They was doing their thing. Bill was doing his thing. You know what I'm saying?
Was that after he turned into Lou Alcindor? Or he
was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar when he started dating the white woman. His first marriage was to a black woman, and she was Muslim. And after that marriage ended, he freelanced through the mid 70s. In the early 80s is when he hooked on to that white woman.
Come on, Roger, don't get no more gangster than that.
And he a militant black man. I got to damn. I might have to vote for him. Shit.
Yeah. Let me say,
he don't get no more militant than Kareem. He don't get no man.
All right, let me throw these in. Shout out to my main man, Jason Mew. He dropped the 20, y'all. He dropped the 20. And he said, the best show on earth. I can't do nothing but respect that and agree with it. And that's just real talk. So shout out to Jason. Appreciate you big time, my brother. I 100% agree with you. You a genius, my brother. You are a genius. And that's real talk. Shout out to you, brother. Shout out to you. And shout out to the one, the only, y'all. Gold P. He says money for the plate, taxes paid. He dropped $5.95 on that. So shout out to him for the Trail Bentley tax and the Gold P tax. Shout out to you, brother. Appreciate that big time.
We appreciate you boys throwing something into the collection plate. We appreciate it. Y'all at the Church of Roger.
Yeah. Now let me say this, y'all. Let me say this. Let me read these names one more again. And for the chat, y'all, throw a name out there if you think they should get it. Just throw a name out there. The people that has earned the right for this nomination, because you got to earn this. This is not we nominating you because we like you. You got to earn the Rufus Nice Guy. After you earn the Rufus Nice Guy, you will automatically be nominated for a Living Legend Award every year, and hopefully you get it before you die. Okay, but we always got the grand finale for the people who don't make it. You know, we always got the grand finales for that. So we still gonna be doing grand finales, y'all. So shout out to Eddie Murphy, shout out to Chris Brown, shout out to Keith Lee, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Julius Dr. J. Irving, Arsenio Hall, Dave Chappelle, Denzel Washington, and Shannon Sharp. Okay.
All the nominees, we appreciate y'all.
Now, if there's any name that y'all want to throw out in the chat, just throw the name out there so I can see what y'all saying too. We want to see what y'all saying, and that's what I want everybody to understand. You could throw a name out every year to what you want to do. Okay. Now, shout out to Inspired Truth Broadcast. He says, "Can we nominate Austin Holloman for Rufus Nice Guy for popularizing
Man, ain't even put in enough work. Ain't even put in enough work. I nominate Glenn. I nominate Glenn Thurman. JD's Revenge before I nominate him. I nominate Glenn Thurman. He done paid his due.
Okay, look, y'all. This is a Rufus Nice Guy. I'm just gonna say, y'all. This is. You got to go against other men. Okay, so I'm gonna keep it real now. If a person don't have that big of a following, are we gonna pick them over people who've done major work that's recognized by millions upon millions of people? Y'all got to be realistic now. Y'all got to be realistic. But you may nominate.
That young buck doing this thing. That young buck doing this thing.
No, I'm not saying nothing about him. Anybody else in particular? I'm gonna say y'all can nominate whoever y'all want on any particular stream. All you got to say is Rufus Nice Guy nominee and put a name out there.
Making guys who ain't 30 years old living legends. Is that how y'all doing it?
That's impossible.
What kind of?
I'm telling you, they got that thought process is flicked, Black Guru. It's flicked.
Well, I'm gonna say this, y'all, because I understand there's a couple younger guys on this list, but now that this has developed in what it has developed into, I'm gonna say y'all keep that in mind. Look, because it's developed into something. It wasn't like this when it first started, but it has developed into something. And age is going to matter because age gives people more time to make more impact. So at the end of the day, y'all got to be realistic about what y'all want to get done. So again, you can dominate anybody you want to.
Pull up the songwriting credits of Smokey Robinson. It's like the American soundtrack of the last 50, 60 years. I mean, not just songs. In fact, his greatest songs, other people perform. Marvin Gaye, Temptation. I mean, Smokey should definitely be on this list. Smokey is like, I said that maybe maybe Smokey is the greatest living songwriter. I mean, if you don't believe me, just pull up Smokey Robinson's songwriting credit. You won't believe it. You won't believe it.
If not Smokey, it is a strong second for Stevie Wonder. Like Black Guru said, he was mentioning Stevie Wonder first.
It's definitely tight. But when you look at Smokey, he wrote so many great songs for other people. It's crazy. For the Temptations, for the Miracles, for
the Supremes.
For Marvin
Didn't he write for the Supremes?
For Supremes. It's staggering. It's staggering what his catalog is.
That he is now on the nominee list. Okay, he's on the nominee list. So is Stevie Wonder, which I said I believe these are the greatest three songwriters out there. Stevie Wonder, Smokey Robinson, and my main man R. Kelly that I grew up on.
Wait, hold on.
All of them are now on the list, y'all. And y'all can nominate anybody y'all want to. And even for grand finales, y'all, for us to honor someone who's already passed, all you gotta do is say grand finale and say who you want to honor, or do Rufus Nice Guy and say who you want to honor. Just do it in the comment section. But what we're not gonna do, we're not gonna pull anybody off of this because all these people earned their spot. We may start shifting more toward older people because realistically, older people have much more time to make an impact. So therefore, age is going to play into it somewhat as it is. But what I'm not going to do is say we're going to give an award to a person just because they're older. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is kind of running away with the conversation, but it's not. I'm not going to say it's because of his age. It's just he's been around so long to do so much, and he's been involved in certain situations throughout this country history. It's hard not to respect that man getting it. It's hard to not respect that. You know,
Roger.
and that's part of what age will get you.
Roger, I'm just asking. Don't shoot me. I'm just a messenger. Okay. Are we allowing convicted felons to be on this list? I know you trying to keep hyping this guy up, but he's a convicted felon. You know,
Wait. If he's a convicted felon, he qualifies for being ruthless. What's wrong with that?
Wait a minute.
Okay, you got a point. You got a point. I'll leave it at that.
No, what I'm gonna do is we got to be realistic about what we talking about, y'all. We talking about black people. If you become a convicted felon, that's usually gonna be some white people stuff, and white people have always had a way of doing stuff. I mean, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. been in jail too now, so I'm not gonna use any white measurements. I'm gonna use what people did and what their impact was. Period.
Okay.
If you had an impact, you had an impact. It is what it is. Okay.
Now, real quick, on behalf of Stevie Wonder, and correct me if I'm wrong, Uru, I believe Stevie Wonder is the reason why we celebrate Martin Luther King's birthday.
Yeah.
He wrote that song, "Happy Birthday."
Well, no, he definitely led the charge. He definitely led the charge.
Don't forget what Dave Chappelle said. Dave Chappelle was sent to John McCain's funeral on behalf of Stevie Wonder, and Stevie Wonder told him, "You go do this for me because this man passed the bill to allow Martin Luther King. He authored the legislation for the bill for Martin Luther King's birthday, even though it was ironic that what John McCain did was crazy. You nominate him for his birthday, but you didn't want to acknowledge it in your state at the time. You voted against it. It was like he done a total 180. But yeah, Stevie Wonder made Dave Chappelle go when he was lying in state, go to that rotunda and pay homage to that man to tell him thank you for passing that bill. What did Dave Chappelle say? I didn't want to do it. He told Steve, he said, "Nah, I passed." He said, "No, you go do this." He told him this as an elder, and he obeyed. He followed, and he done what was right because the elder told him to do it.
The fact that you got Chris Brown on here and you don't have Smokey and Stevie is preposterous.
No, it's not preposterous. Y'all understand this was something developed over time. So the right people gonna get on the list at the end of the day. It was not planned out this way as this stuff started. It just developed over time. But we're making it bigger than what it was in the beginning. So I hear what you're saying. I get what you're saying. But I got to give myself some credit. I didn't start it this way. It became this way. And all the right people going to hit the list. Because y'all can nominate anybody y'all want. So at this point, now, if somebody ain't on the list, understand it's y'all fault. Because y'all didn't nominate the person. It's y'all fault. Okay? Real talk. Roger made some good choices on his own. But now that he's opening up to other people having influence, if you don't see the right names on the list, understand it's your fault because you ain't nominated the person. It is what it is. That's on y'all now. I done did my job. Okay.
I see what you did right now.
I'm glad you saw what I did.
Roger. Didn't we do a living legend for Arthur Ashe too? Yeah, I think we did
We did a grand finale for Arthur Ashe because he had already passed. You know.
Yeah, okay.
We're going to continue to honor the people who already passed. Grand finale is a fantastic thing. It's just the requirement for living legend. You got to be alive. That's what makes it so exclusive. You got to be alive to get it. And there will be nominees added every single year. So excuse me, again, it's going to be the toughest award any man can get. Period. It's going to be the toughest one, no matter what. It's going to be the toughest, and I want it to be that way.
Even though this man's dead, I'm trying to figure out how come he can't make the list as far as grand finale. Sidney Poitier, where is he at, man?
Now we honor Sidney Poitier. We honor him. Yes, we most assuredly did.
I'm not knocking you. I'm just asking for clarification.
Too, as a matter of fact,
hey man, he up here tripping.
Hey man, y'all know I smoke a lot of reefer.
Nah, hey, yo, you was there for that. I remember that show.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, so the right people gonna get honored over here at the Roger Report Live. So I ain't gonna let y'all put it out like I ain't giving the right people their credit, because I'm making sure that happens. And shout out to Gold P.
Okay.
Hold on, let me read this from Gold P. He said, "That's a Shark Sims tax, sir. So disrespectful. Shark, you need to get on Roger for that ill behavior. And for the record, I nominate myself. I've given Roger the most work." Okay, and I'm gonna say, y'all, this is the one suggestion that I'm not gonna add to the list. Okay, Gold P nominated himself. It's the one suggestion.
It ain't happening. He said that.
You know what, Gold P? You know what? I'll add you on the nominee list for fun, just so when we talk about it off air, that we can laugh about your name being on the list. I'm gonna do it for that reason and that reason alone. So ha, brother.
Hey, did we ever get Harry Belafonte on there?
No. He's trust me, he's on the list of the grand finale people though. He's on the list. Okay.
See, I'm a black guru. Look, I ain't gonna let y'all forget these elders, that have paid. Like I say, and all y'all just think in the terms of mostly what has happened now recently in your lives, or like the last 15 years. Y'all need to go back and study history. Like, go study. I know y'all don't want to think of these old guys, but these old guys that me and Black Guru we talking about, they have literally paved the way for y'all to shit and snot on society, man. God damn it, you can blow your nose on behind they work.
Let's not make it that. Understand, y'all, this developed over time. It developed over time. So now that it is what it is, everybody who's supposed to get their shine is gonna get their shine, but we can't act like we started it this way and people got left off. Nobody got left off. It just wasn't what it is now. And everybody who needs to get their shine gonna earn it. That's just all it is at the end of the day. So we don't want to act like people ain't gonna get what they deserve. All right. Now shout out to Gyogami. He said, was Morgan Freeman honored on the previous show? Morgan Freeman was not, but I will put him on the list. Okay, he will be on the list as a nominee. So he getting at it right now, literally. Okay, shout out to Morgan Freeman.
We got to have God on there. We got to have God in the life form over there. I'm not talking about I'm talking about the actor God. We got to have him on. Got to, man. Nobody plays God like Morgan Freeman. Nobody plays God like Morgan Freeman.
Okay, y'all. So
see, all Roger's telling y'all is he didn't have y'all great oration up here to help him perfect the list. He just started it. Y'all perfecting it for him. That's all he's doing. He getting y'all credit.
And I'm gonna say, y'all, because I see people throwing names out there in the chat. Shout out to Floyd. He done threw Mike Tomlin name out there. He done threw Danny Glover name out there. He done did Billy D. Williams name out there. Now we did honor Billy D. Williams.
Yeah, we did. Okay. We did him, Mr. Smooth, we 45.
Yeah, and he said James Earl Jones. We got
to nominate my granddaddy Gang Doppler. Goddamn! Hey, who gonna play Darth Vader other than James Earl Jones? Come on now. Come on now.
Listen. Excuse the language. We need to put Samuel L. Jackson on there, motherfucker.
Hell yeah.
He over 300 movies.
Hold on, because you just said something really impactful. Truth be told, we did give Samuel L. Jackson Rufus Nice Guy, so he can be a living legend. So he actually, y'all keep in mind, I had to do this off memory. I'm sorry I didn't plan it beforehand, but I was doing this off memory. But Samuel Jackson has been given a Rufus Nice Guy, so he can become a living legend. So shout out to Samuel L. Jackson, one of my favorites, and that's just real
Any
talk.
black man 70 years old and up, Samuel Jackson, Denzel Washington, Forrest Whitaker. I mean, the bumps on the back of your neck, Forrest Whitaker. Man, come on now. I mean, any black man over 70 got to be a qualifier on this list.
No, this is the thing. All y'all can nominate whoever you want. Okay, all y'all, I'm telling you what you do. You put in the comment section. If you want somebody who's passed away to be honored, you put grand finale and you put a name of whoever you want. Okay? If you want somebody to be a Rufus Nice Guy so they can have a shot at being a living legend, because you cannot nominate anyone for being a living legend. You can only nominate them for being a Rufus Nice Guy, and amongst the Rufus Nice Guys,
they have to pass Ruthless Nice Guy award first before they can get living legend.
You ain't even touching living legend until you get that Rufus Nice Guy. So, but y'all can nominate whoever you want, and the proper way to do this, you put it in the comment section, so I'll have time to add that person on the list. Now, shout out to y'all for throwing names out there in the chat, because I'm not gonna write all these names down. Shout out to Floyd Thompson. I'm not gonna write all these names down right now. I'm trying to get a few of them, but real talk, the best way, if you want somebody legitimately added to the list, you any show you want to. It doesn't have to be, it doesn't make a difference what show it is, because I try to read all the comments. You just put Rufus Nice Guy, and you put the name of who you want to honor. If there's somebody who's already passed away and you want them to get their credit for grand finale, because we ain't gonna forget those people either who did so much great stuff for us. You put grand finale and you put that particular person or that particular group, because we didn't honor the 54 Massachusetts. You can, if there's a group worth honoring, make sure you put the group name too. But whoever y'all want, y'all have influence to get the job done. But what we not gonna do is pretend Roger ain't been doing a great job from the beginning, because we've developed this. It wasn't set this way in the beginning. That's what we not gonna do. Okay.
Now, you kind of get the hint on that one. You kind of get the hint on that one.
This is stiff arming as I run through this. I'm stiff arming the critiques. Okay, I'm stiff arming. Okay. Shout out to Gold P one more again. He said, if y'all don't nominate me, I'm putting that. If y'all don't nominate me,
Gold P, what the heck have you done for us lately to get a Ruthless Nice Guy? What have you done for us lately?
Well, let me read it. If y'all don't nominate me, I'm putting that work on all of y'all.
Put that work on me. Put that work on me, man. Come on, man. Man, not even an honorable mention, man. You got to get in some more work, man. Some more work. No, okay. You're not a qualifier, sir. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean,
so I'm literally putting it out there. I want the smoke. Come on, Gold P. I want the smoke. You start with me, Gold P. I want the smoke.
Okay.
All right, man.
But
I'm taking the heat off of everybody else. I want the smoke.
All right. Well, I'm gonna say, y'all, I think we can call it, y'all. I do think we can call it.
Kareem. Lou Alcindor.
It looks like it. You know what? Everybody, I'm gonna let everybody say at this point who they really believe it should be, because the chat ain't putting no names in. So y'all gave up y'all chance to influence. I'm gonna read the list one more again, y'all. We got the Rufus Nice Guy recipients have been Eddie Murphy, Chris Brown, Keith Lee, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Julius Dr. J. Irving, Arsenio Hall, Dave Chappelle, Denzel Washington, Shannon Sharp, and Samuel L. Jackson. And y'all, I do want y'all to understand, I'm definitely going to make it my business that even these stars understand that they getting honored with this, because I want them to know, and I want their families to know that, we care about them at the end of the day, regardless on how big this channel is, small or big that it gets. Real talk. So, be respectful at the end of the day. Be respectful. Hopefully even some of them will watch some of the shows and they may even give a word or two. You never know what's going to happen in the future. But this ain't no punk, y'all. This is not gonna be a punk award, and I believe it's gonna be much. Everyone will come to see is much more prestigious than other awards because there's so much political stuff, and you got to do this, and you got to do this, and we want you to interview for this. No. You just go out there and you do your work. We gonna see your greatness, and we gonna award you because of your greatness. Period. And you ain't got to kiss nobody rear end over here. We just gonna honor you because you deserve it. And that's real talk. This it's the purest award you can get, but it's also gonna be the hardest award you can get. Real talk. Okay. And if you look at the other names that they'll be joining, Jesus of Nazareth, Michael Jordan, Robert Smith, Bill Cosby, and Deion Sanders. Them ain't no punks, y'all. They're just not. At the end of the day, those are not no punks. So that's the scale you're going into. Okay, that's the scale you're going into. So guys, one last word on who you really truly believe. Oh, hold on. Here come Gold P one more again. Shout out to Gold P. He said, "Hey, L, you don't want it with me, sir.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I'm begging for it.
Banged on. Have consistently served Roger at work. I served Roger. AL Roger. I don't know what Gold P on now because now you talk great.
Oh yeah. He is. He truly,
you talk crazy now, brother.
He probably done took a snort or two, before 12 o'clock.
Hey, I'm gonna put it like this. I dare you come backstage after the show. I dare you come.
Please.
Okay, but guys, real talk, a serious word. We'll start with you, the Demolition Man. What you got to say out of all these people? Who you think should really get this award? Are you sticking with what you're sticking with, or are you gonna change your mind? What you doing?
I'm gonna speak directly to my man Eddie. I fought hard and long for you. I fear that we lost by the hair of our chin, but we will be back next year. We will be back next year. But you lost to a great man, Lou Alcindor, now known as the great Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and I couldn't be more proud to who you have lost.
Okay, so you're sticking with 80 then. So you sticking with it.
I'm sticking with my boy.
Okay.
I got to get him at least one vote. I
just want to make sure it's clear. Okay. Black Uru. Not that I don't know which way you going. But your last word on who should get this.
Well, I think it is pretty obviously, his name currently is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. His birth name, and nobody ever says his whole birth name. His whole birth name is Ferdinand.
Oh yes.
Louis Alcindor
Tell him.
Jr. His father, he was named after his father. He's a junior. His father, Louis, was Ferdinand Louis Alcindor Sr. He was a police officer, I think. Might have even been.
Yes, he was.
Been a high
yes, sir. You're correct. You're correct. Yeah. He was a police officer.
So I wanted to just kind of, emphasize, he Ferdinand Louis Alcindor, very interesting birth name, Junior, very, very interesting birth name, but definitely Kareem, and it's not a disrespect to the other gentleman, and frankly, part of this is that, as I said earlier, Kareem has had some health issues, particularly some heart issues. And if you've seen him as of late, it's apparent that, he's making it through, so to speak. So, part of it was about his legacy, obviously. His legacy, in my view, is unimpeachable. It ranks with any, I would say his legacy ranks with any of your great sportsmen, any of your great cultural figures the last 60 odd years. But in addition to that, and just to drive home this point, if you're going to have a living legend award, it should be an elder. it should be an elder. Because part of the reason why you have a Living Legend Award is to honor the enduring figure who's done a lot, and you want to honor him while he's still here. Because next year, he might not be here. So I just wanted to kind of consider that when you, if you want to say ruthless, nice guy, great guy, whatever, that's one thing. But if you want to say living legend, that should be about an elder. And I'll end my closing statement with that.
Shout out to you, Black Crew. Good words, powerful words. I think you done did a job on the panel today, real talk. But Chef Mike's Roundtable, are you still there, sir? Do you have any last words you want to give on this one?
Of course. I jumped up and gave my nomination to Eddie Murphy. I laid out his resume and my argument for Eddie Murphy. However, one of the reasons I enjoy this show is because the conversations do make us think, make us reconsider our perspectives and our platform or our choices. So I'm definitely going to say that I have been persuaded to see Kareem Abdul-Jabbar as the living legend, and I am happy to say so. I think this conversation was great. I think we learned a lot about all of the nominees, but between Eddie Murphy and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who this conversation really was about, I will have to say Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is the living legend.
Here. Shark Sims, what you going with, sir? Officially, what you going with?
I just gotta say, if Eddie Murphy was in the conversation with us today, he would tell you, I'm gonna give it to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. The guy, he just everything like Uru painted everything out perfectly. Activist, stood on business, first SYSBN member.
Don't forget great humanitarian. Hold on,
you gonna get your chance.
He beat up Bruce Lee for 15 seconds. And just a cool dude. Even like a lot, I've heard a lot of stories about how cool of a guy he is. Like, yeah, we definitely got to give it to him. And like I definitely understand what Uru was saying. To be a legend, you got to have time on Earth. You just can't be a legend at 14 years old, 30 years old, 35. Legends, you know what I mean? It takes time to become a legend. So definitely agree with Uru. I'm going with my man Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, aka Lou Alcindor, and I'm gonna leave it right there.
Okay. AL, go ahead, do your thing.
Okay. All due respect to everybody you put on this list, even though you start putting good hard hitters in like Denzel and what's his name? Dave Chappelle and just all of them in general. But look, hands down, his resume, I mean, right now, at his age, the longevity has got to go to Kareem. These men are still, fairly young. They, a couple of these men, they're in their early 70s, just hitting. Then a few of them are in their late 60s, and then a few of them are in their 50s. Now, we got to give it to this man. This man, he's on his way out. He's paid all of the dues necessary and met every criteria, hands down. It's the sky hook. It's the sky hook for me. Mr. Sky Hook. And I'm done.
Okay. All right, shout out to you, brother. Shout out to you. We got a late entry from Inspired True Broadcasters come up, but I'm going to quickly say, shout out to Gold P, who dropped a little money on that thing. He said, my money is on Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Shout out to you, Gold P. Shout out to you for that. Appreciate the super chat, my brother. Appreciate
Smartest thing he said all day.
Inspired Truth Broadcast, even though you're coming toward the end, but you're just as valid. You're just as valid. Who would you go with on this on this particular thing? We got a lot of names out there. Who you going with,
Oh
my
yeah.
brother?
Oh, by all means, they have to go with Kareem. I had to come up just to do that to put my bid in for Kareem. And
Okay,
here's
that's
another
all you
thing.
saying?
Like,
Is it
hold on. Here's another thing. Like, now when we're talking about the ruthless nice guys, like we got to also take into account like popularity is one thing. Being entertaining and being an entertainer. If you're an entertainer and a popular entertainer, that means you're entertaining. But also the thing that we consider is what have you done for black men? That's always a consideration. I'm going with Kareem for Living Legend.
okay? Shout out to you. Shout out to you. So y'all, it's just the way it's going. Eddie Murphy still got his nomination in there, loud and strong. We got a bunch of folks who done went with Kareem. So as the host, what I want to do is just make it plain that anybody could get it, even though it ain't got to be about me. I am not saying that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar doesn't deserve it, but I'm purposely gonna give my vote to somebody else because he's sweeping up here just about. He basically sweeping sweeping the show, and it is actually deserving. So for that reason alone, I like Dave Chappelle. I like Denzel. I really do. I even like Shannon Sharp because we in the same field. So at least I share one field with Shannon Sharp because he done did multiple things. But I'm gonna go ahead and give it to the youngster, and I'm gonna just at least throw it out there one time. I'm gonna give mine to Chris Brown. Okay, not that it was
Oh
gonna
yeah.
change anything, but I'm gonna give
Hey,
it
I
to
like
Chris
it though.
Brown
Risk a
because
dance.
no. I mean, real talk. I want people. Anybody could get it. It's gonna be a hard award for anybody to get and I want it to be that way because I want people to understand this is the most prestigious award that you can win. So, Chris Brown is one of my favorite artists. The first younger guy I took seriously as far as music or anything is concerned. So, I like the dude. Okay, I like who he is as a person from the stuff I see. I like what he does musically. He seems to be a stand-up guy in every kind of level. So I just gonna give him some credit. So I'm gonna throw him out there, even though I know it's not gonna be enough to change the obvious outcome of today's show. But it is a beautiful thing for us to honor all these different great black men. And next year we're gonna be honoring more. So what I want to do, y'all, is have a tradition that on the second, depending upon the first show of the new year, whatever the first show of the new year, we will always be giving credit to. We going pick a new living legend. So you can only do it once a year. There's only going to be so many brought up throughout the year. So it's going to be a tough list to crack. But to be a living legend is a great thing. So I think it's fair to say that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar has clearly been named the newest member of the living legends, y'all. The newest member of the living legends is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And that's just what it is. I'm gonna say shout out to everybody who came through for this particular show. You know, I these to me are some of the best shows we gonna have. Real talk. Because if we can't honor black men, we can't look at what everybody else doing and say we have any issues with it. So we got to make sure we honor the men who deserve credit. So shout out to all the ruthless nice guys. Shout out to all y'all because you have made a great impact to even become a ruthless nice guy. Shout out to all the nominees that's gonna come up in the future. Some of y'all gonna get that ruthless nice guys. Some of y'all may not. It is what it is. But we gonna continue to honor great black men on this channel. That's never going to stop as long as I got something to say about it. As long as I got something to say about it. But shout out to the one and only Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, which I honestly believe, based on the arguments that were presented, he is the right one to choose. I am going to say that. I'm still giving my vote to Chris Brown, but I do believe that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is clearly the right person to choose. I just want to give Chris Brown some love, okay? Because anybody can do it, y'all. Anybody can do it. So as a black man, try to become a ruthless nice guy so you can become a legend. There's no other award greater that you're gonna be able to get. It's gonna be a hard one to get, y'all. I understand you can get some Grammys. I understand you can win some Oscars. This is gonna be tougher than all that. because you're going against everybody in every genre of everything. Real talk. Remember that. You're going against everybody in everything. Real talk. So I'm getting ready to close the show out. Gold P is backstage. I'm gonna say it publicly, but Gold P, you backstage. Are you trying to get on before we go off air, Gold P? Or you? Okay, cool. He waiting for the after show. So I'm gonna grab my machete because I'm finna holler at Gold P after the show.
And I got my axe.
Yo, thank y'all for joining us here at the Roger Report Live. I do want to say, man, I love and appreciate all y'all at the end of the day, whether you catching this live or whether you catch us on a replay. I hope everybody has a fantastic 2026. If you haven't done it already, start setting your goals for this year. Let's blow last year out the water. Let's make sure we all do great things in our personal lives and you get some great things accomplished, y'all. It's a great new year. Let's enjoy it. Let's get things done. Let's make it happen. Let's all be wonderful. Man, I love y'all. Real talk. Y'all got to know I love y'all. If I keep coming, no matter how many times they kick me off this thing, I keep coming back. It means something to me. It means something to me, and I'm glad it means something to y'all. Y'all have a wonderful evening. Long live the habitual line steppers. I'm Roger. I'm right, and I'm out.
Yay, yay.